the next morning, as they finish breakfast.
But we had 3 rooms and 4 people. How did we split up?
Who got their own room?
What?
Who got their own room?
I did. Your squire slept in your room.
With us? Or I slept alone with him in the room?
I mean, he may not want a room with me, so...
Well, in the past he's roomed with him.
This is true.
I don't know.
It's
I
your
would
choice.
say...
You're the squire.
I know.
You're the
Laniera
squire.
may have asked because she was going to work on some of her spell casting and stuff, and it didn't want to keep you up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was
that can be a little bit.
that was a thought. Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like that could be a good way for
and
everyone to still.
I wouldn't make Nils room with him. You know, I'm not cruel. I don't want to know what people are saying, but I also do.
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, Lanier would probably be the first to be up. How did you sleep in?
No.
No?
No rest.
So in, like, her disheveled state, she kind of is, like, with a book, some stuff in her bag, and she's just knocking on your door.
Get up from my chair where I was sitting, looking out the window. Open the door, yes.
I heard you were awake. So, she just, like, throws her stuff on the floor, and she's like,
you said after breakfast, and she's like, no, we're starting here.
Hey, if you want to start there, you can start there.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, throws things. I was thinking, or were you thinking?
What?
About everything. You just woke up, didn't you?
Yeah?
Wait, did Nil stayed with you or with...
With me.
Okay.
I didn't make him stay with him.
Her eyes awkwardly look over to Nils, just like, did I just wake up? I woke you guys up.
Nils has been up for a little bit, and he was, he's actually, he has her shoulder piece, and he's, working it with oils.
You didn't eat yet? You didn't eat yet?
No, we've just woken up. I was trying to get maintenance out of the way. If you wish, do you wish me to get Hildebrand, or?
I'll get Hildebrand. Don't worry about it. Continue.
Then I would get breakfast.
Do we want to just meet up in your room and eat breakfast together?
That's fine.
Well, we have things to talk about that may not be best just at a table downstairs.
That's fine.
Do you mind?
It's my duties. And he puts down the shoulder piece and says, I can finish that afterwards. And he says, I will get whatever they have available. I apologize if it's not that good.
I mean, it's not going to be his cooking.
No. Nothing could compare to your cooking.
He heads out of the room and starts heading down.
She offers just
I
like,
gave him a compliment!
Quick feet going.
She just looks to Carmen.
I don't know. I don't. You know, one day, you and him will be friends.
You're very optimistic.
I believe.
You hear the sharp,
you have to become friends with your comrade on the battlefield.
Hildebrand hears the sharp boot steps of Mills as he passes by the room. And starts heading down the stairs to go get food.
Alright, so I'll finish pulling up my boots. And I'll leave the room and go knock on the door.
The door's probably still
Door's
open,
like half cracked open.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, so I'll just walk in.
So as you knock, it just kind of slowly pushes in.
Oh, I see. Well, good morning.
Alright, so everyone's awake now.
Okay.
She's, like, splaying out her notes on the floor,
Listen.
and then sits down Indian style in the center of it.
It's morning, so whatever you were gonna say, how fast it was gonna be, just half of that speed. Okay. She sits back on the bed and like pulls up a blanket. It's been so long.
We have blankets.
Okay. I know, but
That's fair.
There's a few stools and small and there's it's a lightly furnished room. I mean, there's enough space in the bed for 2 people to sit down, and there's at least a stool that's by a small like writing desk near the window. Well, that's really all the amenities to speak of, aside from a small washing basin near a very unkept mirror. It's not the most polished mirror. It's got some smudges on it.
I mean, I'm sure it's probably not even that great of a mirror, considering historically you probably still had the distortions in it. Like, really, that was a
no one really knew what they looked like.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you have lakes. There are
true, but
reflections
that's still a little distorted.
I guess so. That's fair.
No one really knows.
Vanity aside. I apologize. I went to bed early, which meant I've been awake for... if she sleeps only 4 hours and she went to bed right away, that means that she's probably been awake for at least 4 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apologize. But I was thinking, maybe we weren't asking the right questions. We're in this town, and you said it's pretty close to Warhammer, right?
Yeah, just a few days away.
If this is a trade town, or was, I don't know how much trading they're doing these days, it's feasible that people from Warhammer might actually be trading here, or where they were. So they might actually know Axel. They may possibly have seen Rupert, because they were together. I mean, I don't know about Tobias. Tobias was from Marienburg.
Well, I believe, regardless of if they were trading or not, they would have had to pass through this town, unless they went around it, but why?
Oh, yeah, it seems excessive. And Axel lived for I don't know how long, but if they lived in that town, they're bound to kind of, like, have dealings. I mean, it's pretty close, right? My map skills aren't as strong, but...
We could ask about them. There's no harm in that.
I mean, we could also possibly see about talking to drunk guy. What was his name again?
Gerhard.
I wrote it down. Notebook's out now. Sorry, I'm a bad person.
Gerhard Dietrich. He asked about his son, Johann.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We also had the blacksmith we spoke to.
I mean...
And he's right there at the entry point to the town on the same road that they took, but he didn't see them, and he's right there the whole time.
That man seemed all kinds of out of sorts. I don't know how, I guess, attentive he's been, but...
Well, they also have their own problems to worry about.
Hangovers aside, Gerhardt might have sobered up, at least with a night's sleep. We may have better luck talking to him once he's... or before he hits the bottle again.
If he's lost everything, he might be in that bottle and not come out. I've known plenty like that.
That's a very fair point.
I could fix that.
You're so tactful. Social graces abound in this group.
We don't have time to play these games.
Not wrong.
If he's drunk again, he'll probably be drunk for the rest of the day, and drunk forever until he dies. So.
Which probably would be quicker if he's sustaining a lifestyle of drinking.
Yes.
Valid point.
So,
I do think it's worth asking around. If we can get some more information about Axel and Rupert, and just even something to work with, I think when we get there, at least we'll have better information to make our decisions on. I mean, not that I necessarily want to go running around town making friends, but it could actually be worth it.
Yeah. Doing a few favors here and there could help us gain favor.
They might be a little bit more willing to come forward too if we can help them in some way with this cultist situation, since the cultist seems to be the one,
I mean, to be fair,
grabbing people.
If they can't give us any solid information, how long are we supposed to wait around this town waiting for a strike to then help them? We won't pass this coming back.
I could today I could look around the perimeter, see if there's anything fishy. If they're so blazingly coming in and wreaking havoc, I doubt they're trying to cover their tracks as they leave. So
They're also running out of people to take. Apparently.
yeah.
It's not a nice thing to say, but it's true.
It is. I will not take that from you, Hildebrand. I maybe not phrase it like that around.
Not
Oh,
around.
not around them, no.
It's like, oh, don't worry. Your problem will be solved when all of your people are taken
dead,
away.
yes. Oh, I can't steal from the jet. Well, you could actually, even if the rest of the entire town's dead, they could still steal their things, vandalize the houses of dead people. The problem would persist even after their death.
The door opens inward, and you see Nils' back as he walks into the room. He turns around and has a looks like a loaf of bread, a bowl, and 4 tankards.
No cheese.
No cheese.
He
They were out of
places
cheese.
This is the continental
He
breakfast here.
places it down on the writing desk. He says, I apologize.
They didn't have cheese?
I have cheese in my bag, at least.
Oh, thank God.
All they had to offer was the bread, the sourdough that they have, and a bone broth.
That's.
They're not.
No,
They're not very well stocked, obviously.
Do you think we missed breakfast, or they simply don't have anything
I
else?
do not believe they had any meats, and judging from the way everything looked, I do believe this is the safest options that we have.
That's true.
Everyone does seem a little sick.
Okay, well.
I mean, we could still just eat the majority of our rations. You said we were ahead of schedule.
We are. We could. I mean, I can make sure the food won't hurt us unless you find it so unappetizing.
We were eating worse on the road. I mean, she says as if to
Well,
convince herself.
Oh, he starts sawing into the sourdough, and it doesn't look mealy. It doesn't look molded. It smells like fresh bread.
I'm gonna do my...
It's not hard enough to use as a club.
No, it's been baked. It was baked this morning.
Ah.
What seems to be the issue is that they don't really have much to go with the bread. And there's also a weak breakfast ale in each tankard for you as well.
So as he's doing that, she's going to sit down and do purify food and drink as ritual, so I don't waste my mana.
And while she's doing that,
Yeah.
Nils has gone into his pack and he's pulled out. He's going through different cloth wrappings, and he finds seems to be a hard traveling cheese.
Yes.
That he pulls out a block of, walks over and cuts off at least one chunk for each person and puts it down next to the.
I wouldn't be surprised if you find some extra goodies someplace hidden in that pouch, if I know Berthold.
What, do you think he packed us a bagged lunch?
He gave you he tossed out a chest with gold pieces.
In which we could purchase our lunch with.
But I wouldn't be surprised if he slipped in a couple of sausages
I'm
or
trying to concentrate,
better cheese.
Please.
Sorry. Stop their bickering.
After she completes her prayer
Yes.
and declares the food pure, you all go about having your breakfasts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hildebrand, where do you think we would find I almost said Berthold. Damn it, you were talking about our...
Geralt.
Geralt.
Gerhardt.
Gerhardt. So was close.
I was close.
You fucked me.
Berthold Gerhardt. Gerhardt Dietrich.
I was so close.
You were.
Missed it by that much.
Dip the bread in
The fact that the bread is
broth.
sourdough gives it at least a little bit more flavor, and it is soft on the inside, and it is warm. And at least the bone broth is seasoned. So it tastes of a at least a flavorful beef stock. Might not be a full soup, but it adds some beefy flavor to the bread.
Nibbling on some cheese with my broth dipped bread. Making a meal out of this.
Nils waits and make sure everybody has had their portions before he starts having his.
Oh, go ahead and eat.
Yeah, sorry.
As she's like
pieces.
Yeah, lady like trying to eat with one hand, she's trying to put the rest of her notes away into her bag. She kind of exploded on the floor.
You were saying about Gerhard?
I mean, we don't know where he lives. Do you have any idea where we might find him? How do we want to go about going through the town for information?
Nils actually holds up his hand.
Yes?
Was Gerhard the drunk man that was in the bar last night?
Yeah.
Yesterday evening. He's still there.
In a similar state.
As I thought.
I don't believe so.
Oh.
But
did he fall asleep?
Well, I don't think he ever became undrunk, but I would not put him at the level of a Schnickert.
That's helpful.
What level would you put him at?
Verstunk.
Feeling it?
Okay.
He's less drunk than he was, but he definitely did not become undrunk.
Less drunk is fine. That's something.
Less drunk is
Yes.
better.
All right,
It's
so
better.
we should probably, once we finish our food, go and poke that bear and see if there's something more useful now that he is more coherent, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Well, he's just feeling it now.
He's not schnickered. He's just feeling it.
Verschnickert.
Verschnickert.
The sacramental line.
Yeah. So you head downstairs?
Yeah, gathers her crap, shoves it back in the bag, and is like,
Yep.
I'm ready whenever you guys are, unless you need more time to wake up.
Fine for now. I mean, we have these rooms for a week, right?
With the amount we paid for, I hope so.
Forever.
I want a plaque on my door.
But might
The
be
nearest slept here.
arranged.
You think they could afford the ore to make a plaque?
I think with the money you have, you could get the blacksmith to make you a plaque.
Alright, so let's go and see if we can talk to this poor fellow.
Heading downstairs, you see he doesn't look as sublimely inebriated. He's not wobbling in his chair. He has some stabilization. He seems to be drinking the same breakfast ale that you had. And breakfast ales being on the weaker side, session ales, an Oktoberfest would be the closest thing in relation. Something that you're supposed to be able to drink for 8 hours and not get completely hammered. He seems to be slowly sobering up while still drinking. That's how drunk he was.
That's impressive.
You ever seen that in your travels?
Only every day. Every day spent in a tavern.
What a luxury
you know how
that
many-
must be.
Do you know how many of them Fanny herself used to fling out the front door?
At least she did.
Yeah, I mean,
The
that's...
innkeeper isn't behind the bar, but you have a feeling that they're within shouting distance. And there's no other patrons right now. It's early morning in a tavern.
Well, they said they're only down to about, 20 townspeople or something?
50, I think.
50, but even still.
Hildebrand, do you think it would be more advantageous for us to sit in with you, or do you think you'll have a better time getting information from him if we let you do your thing? that you do.
What exactly did we try to ask him that?
Well, we asked about the child, if he'd seen any strangers come through, and we asked a lot about the cultists, but I think we got a bit distracted from the fact that we have a load of shit waiting for us at Rohoff, and if we had some more information about the players in that maneuver, it would go better.
I wouldn't be surprised the proximity if these issues were related.
That's actually something I hadn't thought about.
The cultists that are coming here?
It could just be a trickle down.
They could be coming from.
Possibly.
Raw to supply
we know
whatever their dark plan is.
And we know for a fact that Rupert and Tobias were agents of the Grandfather. So these cultists could just be a part of the same party, as it were.
It's possible. So everything might be connected. I guess we were just so flustered with everything we were doing that we didn't think of that.
That's okay. That's why we don't sleep. Alright, so I didn't sleep.
So I'll go over and start and engage.
You don't want any assistance?
If I do, I'll give a sign.
Let me know if he's still too drunk.
I'll be able to tell that. Are there any cups of
Well, you have
the
yours
breakfast
from
still?
upstairs. Unless you downed that entirely, you could have brought your mug back down with you. And also, it's the casks seem to be honestly labeled. So if you were to just walk behind the bar, or you could shout for the barkeep. There's several options.
I only blessed your drink, though.
The only currently semi-filled tankard is the one sitting in front of Gerhardt.
Are there any unused tankards there?
I mean, there's ones behind the bar, but as I said, unless you left them up upstairs in your room. Well, if you left them up there, now that I'm thinking about it, Nils would have brought them down. So your tankards are with you guys as he places them on the bar.
All right. I'll take mine and I'll just go over holding it. I won't bother filling it.
Okay. There's a little bit at the bottom.
Yeah. So I'll go over and I'll sit down and I'll say good morning.
Good morning.
I do not know if you recall us from last evening.
I remember you, Troop. You seem unforgettable types.
Ah, well, thank you. And are you feeling any better this morning?
How do you mean?
Well, you seemed rather unwell last night.
Oh, drink can have a purifying effect.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm well aware of that.
Have you ever poured whiskey on a wound?
Yes.
And there you go. Medicinal. Takes a drink of his ale.
Clank. To your health.
You kind of hit the bottom as he wasn't even thinking of clank. You kind of pop it a little bit. And
a different culture.
And
I'll never understand it.
So, tell me. Maybe you might be able to think a little bit more clearly this morning if you're feeling a little better. I was told that you would be the person to ask because you seem to know everything going on in this town.
Mm-hmm.
You seem to have your ear to the ground and your eye looking out all over.
Mm-hmm. You can say that.
So, we were wondering if you had seen a rather Well, fancy carriage that came through the town, for one thing. This would be very...
I don't remember seeing any fancier carriages than normally come through.
And, we were also trying to find some people that we know. We lost track of them on the road during a storm.
No.
And, well, we were concerned. There was a rather fat fellow, and he would have had a young lad with long golden hair with him in tow.
His eyes seem a little bit brighter than the previous night. You know? Now that you say it, I did see a man traveling with a boy.
Ah.
Lyra's just kind of leaning in her chair, just like...
Reason I remember it is because the boy had a hood. Or something over his head. And the man seemed real nervous, like kept the boy behind him. Couldn't get a look at him. He came through maybe a few days ago.
Okay. Where were they heading? Did he say, or were they asking questions?
They didn't really stay. They just moved along, heading towards Wolfenburg.
Wolfenburg.
That's along the road. If you followed this main road, continuing on, it passes through Keichdorf, then Ruhrhof, and then on to Wolfenburg, which is a very big city. Not as big as like Middenheim or Altdorf, but it's a large enough city that.
So you say that they were heading that way. Were they traveling by cart or horse? Because the cart was not in the best of shape. They might have switched to horseback.
I didn't see them on anything when I saw them here.
So what?
When I saw them here, they were walking.
Lyra kind of like slides over.
I was
brings a little chair over, and just like and sits down. Hi. So I heard. Did I just hear someone mention
Kermit sits down, sips her drink
She
slowly.
kind of waves at him.
He just instantly, with the amount of companies, like picks up his tankard and just kind of sits back. Good morning.
Good morning. Did I hear right? Wolfenburg.
Apparently, that's where our friends were traveling to.
Are you talking about Ansel? Because Ansel lives all the way in Ruhrhof. Are you familiar with the town that far north?
Ansel. Ansel Vorman?
That was it, right?
Where's the papers?
Yeah. I think family lived in Ruhrhof, yeah.
I think he was living with his grandparents, right?
Not sure. I just know that the Vorman house is in, they wouldn't be there anymore, though. Ruhrhof is, really not much of a town anymore.
Oh, was it hit bad during the storm?
We were mercifully spared, as you can see.
Yeah, think how further north they are. But you know, I can't remember where the parents' house were. I know we were going to meet up with him again when we were heading to Rohak ourselves, but
As I said, we were split up from our friends on the way.
I mean, I know that the town's in the sorry state, but do you happen to recall where the parents' home were?
Yes. It's a two-story cottage. Lucky bastards. North edge of town.
That is his
nice
name.
house means nothing now that the town is all but wiped out.
Pictures. That is his name.
I'm so proud.
I know. Took me like 5 minutes to find.
That's fine. It's great.
Yeah. I'm glad it became relevant.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Sorry, I have a lot of notes.
As
Sometimes it's
Carmen's
hard.
like looking through notes. Vormar, that was on the list, and she shows her.
Oh,
Vorman.
yeah.
Vorman.
Vorman.
Yeah, I just looked at it. Vorman.
Well, that's certainly
Oh, that's exceptionally helpful.
that's certainly encouraging to know.
You know, I was riding back from Schweibach the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I saw someone near the old Vorman place. Strangely dressed lady.
Oh, was she very excessive with dark hair?
I don't know, but she had a group of people. They were walking behind her, all official-like. It kind of stood out.
Yeah, I think I know who he's talking about. She's quite good at that. She kind of sinks in her chair. She's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
All right, so we obviously know where we have to get to.
I mean, but
So,
you haven't heard of that Rupert fellow, though, right? Ansel started, kind of just keeping company with him for a while, and that's when we lost touch with him.
he finishes the rest of his tankard. He says, it seems my vocal cord lubrication has exhausted.
She kind of exchanges a look with Carmen of just mixture.
He places it in the palm of his hand, holding it by the handle, and just.
Well,
You seem most familiar with a tavern.
I can't support this.
I was going to say,
Mills rolls his eyes, grabs it out of the guy's hand.
I was about to suggest to Nils,
marches behind the bar.
Oh.
fills the tankard.
Oh no.
Fills the tankard
Oh no, what was that? No.
Just to fuck with us.
and comes back.
The innkeeper comes running in with the
He
sword out.
He takes it,
He just poured hard whiskey.
Mhm.
takes a sip, and his eyes light up for a second. You're a good lad. Takes a nice big gulp.
Oh no.
So, what would you like to know? Oh, you said Rupert,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Oh, I wonder if you mean Lucius's boy. Hahn. Lucius Hahn. I don't think he was noble, but he sure acted like one.
Mm.
You know, but was he from? Oh, she's like as soon as she starts talking, seeing him down, she's just like,
He He has several layers of mustache right now.
She's trying so hard to
Never
be
bothering
nice.
to remove the sud. When he speaks, it occasionally decorates the table in front of him.
Well,
Is that... You think that's him?
I mean, possibly.
it might just be the noble haughtiness seems to
Well, there's
definitely ring a
there's
bell.
huge state. Matter that Lucius built for his family on the way to Wolfenburg and Villa. On. It's about 4 miles. Before you get to the city, if you follow the main road.
We follow miles in this world.
A lot of strange things happened there past couple of years.
Strange things. Are you talking about the cultists?
Well, even before the storm came, there was always rumors that it was haunted.
Hmm.
I love a ghost story.
I don't know the story, they just said it was haunted. You drink some more. You see the, not breakfast ale, but definitely a darker, stoutier beer dribbling and filtering through his beard as he drinks.
Well, he's going to be
A snicker.
taken care of soon enough.
Nils.
He's
That's what the roll was, to see if he got the right beer.
oh, you're signaling Nils
Yeah.
over? He walks over. Yes, sir?
He is on a one-way carriage ride to Verschnickerd because of the ale you gave him. It's points at him. It's very concentrated.
I thought it was I just mentioned God, it's him. Hold down 1 second.
I mean,
And he walks behind the bar. You see him look down. Then he looks up.
What?
And he looks down.
Just like this.
And he
Yeah, we're
looks
both-
up. What does 4x's mean?
Oh my. That means that's the good stuff. That's the stuff that will put you under the table.
I think
get back here.
there's runes on the barrel.
Oh, no. Literally, it's just kind of like, oh, hold on. Like, rushes over to Nils, and she puts a hand on him, she's like, which one? And she, like, goes underneath. She just muppets down.
She points down. Make a history check.
Oh, goodness. Oh, no.
Wait, it's got runes? Not X's? When you said X's, I was like, oh, that's the good stuff.
It does have X's on it
9.
and runes. You don't. Well,
I'll come back and take
grand
a look.
total of 9. Yes. Did you roll a 1?
2.
You rolled a 2. Wow. Okay.
I gotta knock the rest off. Make me
you-
roll something else.
You know you don't speak dwarf.
Yeah, I do.
You know Khazalid?
Yes, I speak Khazalid.
Oh, well, it's an
So do
ancient
I.
form of it.
Yeah.
The only word that you can make out is bugman.
Carmen, do you
I
speak
know.
Khazalid?
Hildebrand
But
would know
you
ale.
ran over.
I'll walk. I said I
all
walked over.
bad
and
Wait,
looked.
do we all?
He's just kind of sitting. He's just enjoying beer.
Enjoy
Carmen
that.
grabs it out of his hand.
What?
I'll go over and look at the barrel. Do I have advantage because of my tavern?
Not advantage.
Okay.
Just straight up history check. Nope.
I asked Carmen, to be fair.
I didn't do my
Instead, y'all
culling.
abandoned her at the table with him, and he
I
took
didn't
the drink
didn't do
away.
my culling beforehand. That's what happens when you don't do your rituals.
Carmen,
She pulls the
come over
drink
here
at.
just come here.
She slams it down on the table. She looks him in the eyes.
I'm so confused right now. I thought we were having a nice
We are. Hold just one moment. Carmen!
chat.
Carmen, come here. Carmen.
She gets up.
Leave the
with
man his
drink.
Leave the man his drink.
He just has grabby hands for the tankard
he won't
as it walks
remember
away.
It's
He
fair.
won't remember.
Might not.
She walks away with the drink in hand.
This is
Kazalidi.
if it's
rusty. What is this?
if it's dwarven ale, it's good stuff.
What am I rolling history?
I know that much.
It's not just dwarven ale, it's dwarven stout.
What am I rolling for?
History. I'll let you use your wisdom instead.
Okay.
Is this what you gave him, Nils?
Ooh. Oh my god, I rolled shit too.
Oh my god, we have 1, 2,
I
and
rolled
3.
a 4. Well, 4 total.
But yeah, like in terms of our raw dice
Wow.
numbers just now.
Right.
1, 2,
You are
3.
Right now it's hello,
Nils
hello,
Coslian.
hello.
He finally looks down and starts reading it.
Make him roll. He has to roll.
Do you want to roll for it?
Yeah, no, I don't
Go ahead.
know. I don't know if I should.
Wait. Use
No.
no. Use
Wait.
the one that Kevin gave us.
I'm meaning.
Nils, we're all counting on you. You can do this.
Oh my god!
I'm giving him bardic inspiration.
Alright, I'll see if I
Wow.
need it. Hold on. It's very important.
Wow.
Oh my god.
What the fuck, guys?
To be fair, it hit the horn.
It
but-
did.
See,
Ladies
corn-
and gentlemen,
corn
tonight's
sauce here.
episode of Chaos
Should we
Unending
roll
is
it?
going to end early because
No, I think
we're
that's right.
rolling for crap.
So what I added
Today's
D8.
episode brought you to by the
D8.
number 5.
6.
We're the mighty five.
Wait. Okay, so that's a 10 before you said wisdom or history. If I add history,
Well,
then
history
I get 15.
plus wisdom.
Oh.
Well, okay.
Yeah, actually that would be a 16.
Wisdom proficiency.
He has-
History
has-
proficiency, wisdom modifier.
Yeah, that would be 16. Alright.
Okay.
Nils!
Plus the bardic inspiration.
His-
Thank you.
As
Yeah, I
soon as-
added that.
As soon as he releases. Oh.
6 was still better
Reserve
than-
stout.
What is that?
Bugman was a dwarven trader and ranger who used to travel around, and he's a bit of a legendary brewer. His septuple X is known as the most legendary of all dwarven drinks.
Okay, we should pour the cup back into the barrel.
This is 4. I do not think we can pour this back in.
She sniffs the drink. What does it smell like?
Beer and heaven.
Beer and
Is
it that Sigmar would drink? It is.
Oh my god, substitute today! Put that down!
Make a constitution check.
Oh no. Oh. Chaos Unending, episode 30, for Snickered.
For Snickered.
Son of a bitch.
No!
You rolled a 1 on your con check?
Guys, how is this happening? We
Well,
don't
at
even
least
get
it's
out
not
of the
combat.
engine. Wait, remember?
I'm feeling about as
Well-
good as your perception check.
It hits your tongue, and you feel warm. You also feel dwarven courage.
Right.
For the next day, all attacks you make are reckless.
What does that mean?
I'm fighting as a berserker.
He gets advantage, but everybody gets advantage against him as well.
Carmen takes the drink back from him. I don't know how you got it away from her in the first place, you weak little shit with your little dinky arms. She marches.
My dinky arms feel a lot better.
Oh no.
She marches over
Does it
to
give you
like.
an accent?
I guess there's
I'm
like
feeling good.
a sink or something. Pouring it down the
Carmen,
drain.
Nils just starts shaking his head. No,
No one can drink.
No,
this.
we can drink it. Save it. Put it.
it's said. Bugman is almost considered one of the 3 ancestors.
You can't just pour
Like
it.
he would be number 4. He's that close. That would be
right?
blasphemy.
So the 4 X's?
Well, no.
X-
Septuple
X-
X would be is his legendary brew, as it aged 4.
So what should we do with this?
It must be drunk.
What if we put
To waste it is a sin.
We don't have to drink it right now. What if we put it
I'm
in
the
one of...
most concerned as to why it's here.
I agree. Okay, let's solve
Does
one
he not know
problem.
what it is?
One problem at a time. Okay, first of all, we can't pour it down the sink. So someone has a water skin, empty out the water skin, put it in your water skin. We'll save it for later.
Right.
Nils, would that be okay?
Yeah, so long as it gets drunk, I guess.
Okay, we will.
I will
will
have.
You will
There's
have
no
nothing. Shut
problem. There's no problem whatsoever. It will be taken care of.
We will save this for better days when everything is put to rest
Yes.
and we can enjoy a nice night.
He runs over.
Until then, no one drinks
he
it.
had brought the packs down with you when you guys came downstairs, so he runs over to his
Ooh,
pack.
I wonder how that would
Empties
go
out
in your
his water skin.
drinking horn.
This guy hadn't been chugging it because it is strong in numerous ways. But he's able to open up the wineskin and hold it.
Okay,
For
the next fire. We need to make
Um,
recompense with this ink heap. We just absolutely did something quite fucked.
What do you mean we?
He is your squire.
She
He's your
gives a glance
responsibility.
over to him.
You
All
are
right, let's-
responsible for his actions.
let us get out from
I
behind.
know.
Let us get out from behind the bar.
Why don't you go sit down with the drunky
I'm
drunk over there?
fine.
No.
Innkeep.
Oh no.
Oh, good innkeep.
No.
Hildebrand, you sit down.
You do not say what just happened. And she's holding up one hand to him and slowly pouring it into the
You don't
water
hear
skin
any
that Nils is
responses.
holding.
All I was going to do was ask where they might have gotten this from.
No, we don't want to know because that means that we were behind there, the counter, that we took some. That it's just he
They
doesn't-
don't know that we took some. They'll know that we were behind the bar, but then again, people generally
They
do.
might not even know what it is if they left it unattended.
This is true.
So we have the choice before us. Do we want to be upfront and truthful that we accidentally just took this religious item and poured it down the town drunkard's throat? Or do we want to hope that no one notices and continue on our way to investigate this estate? Because now we know the fucking Lamians, and she leans a little closer, talking a little faster, the Lamians have definitely gotten their way to the house, in which case they may have the necklace, which means our timetable is no longer so leisurely.
Well, we still don't have any horses to go.
We don't need horses.
Right, we will just walk forward.
Yeah, you hold on to that!
Yes, not yet.
Yes, not yet. Sorry, I should probably mention that to him.
He's gonna behave like a child until that wears off.
Alright. Do we want to...
I don't know if we want to get involved in that right now. Either way, it's already been consumed. Can't take it back.
Okay. Do we want... I mean, the fact that this activity has been seen with an eccentric woman with an entourage at the house already, I think we should really get our way to the Lucian estate. That might be something that would... It's on our way anyway, but it's clearly particularly odd.
Wow, that fail is stronger than the.
The fail isn't stronger because it makes you reckless. You literally have berserker rage uncontrolled.
Think how squishy you are, and imagine that double.
They have advantage against you as well as you have advantage
Yeah.
on attack. It speeds everything up in the process, but
Yeah. Oh man. All right, we're living fast today. Living fast on the edge.
Right, we must sally forth.
What a gamble.
Oh. Okay.
Bugman's Brews. You can that is actually, by the way, a canon character that you can look up.
I would expect nothing less from you.
In Warhammer?
Yeah. He's a hero you can actually select as a miniature on the field. Well, back when Warhammer Fantasy was a thing.
How many points?
Do you have one?
I believe he was an 80-point hero that could be... He specifically got a ranger unit that he could be the leader of called Bugman's Rangers. And they were great weapon-wielding, crossbow-wielding scouts who got advanced deployment. I played a lot of Warhammer.
I painted a lot of your stunty men.
Yes. Stunties. Okay.
It's gonna be a little racist about it.
Carmen's gonna go take the cup, the now empty cup, put it back in front of a drunk man.
Oh, look how fast he drank.
I know, I'm impressed.
He picks it up and looks at the bottom of it. Did I say something wrong?
No, not
But,
at all.
to be fair, we should just give him normal ale. He did ask that. We fucked that up. That's not his fault. The man wants to rinse away his... Oh, look at the toes! They were so pink.
Beans.
Beans!
Fine.
Beans!
Well, it doesn't matter now. We're leaving, so...
Okay. He gets up and walks over to the bar and starts thudding the tankard on the bar.
Oh, please.
All right.
Okay, let's go. It's time.
I think we should be leaving. What a good idea.
You can hear coming from the back room, "Quiet down, you drunk! I'll be there in 5." And you guys grab your packs and head out.
Yup.
Well, okay.
Out into the, we'd say, mid-morning. You spent some time talking to that gentleman and examining a Bugman cask. And the light is, it's a little overcast. So there's a diffused kind of light, a little bit of a orange haze in the air. The clouds seem to have just a feeling of oiliness to them. Hanging low, but not oppressive. But there are breaks in the clouds. Make perception tests.
Not using that die today.
Thank you. 24.
So I have advantage, by the way, on
Perception.
my wisdom. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's on my saving throws. That's what that was for. I wrote down
Carmen's
advantage.
perception.
As usual,
Yes.
10.
you can't roll crap all night.
No. No, last week I was doing pretty good.
Yeah.
For some weird
Going down the
reason.
line.
23.
8.
10.
23. You hear it before you see it. Faint creaking of wood. And a wind. Even, steady, pendulous creaking. And that's when you see the grim ornament that has been added to the crossbeams of the blacksmith's shop.
He hung himself.
You see a dark shadow covered in soot, swaying gently in the breeze. forge has since cooled, with no more blacksmith to fuel it.
Carmen, Lyra, and Nils are still just like, oh, we're walking our way out of town.
Wait. Look.
What? I assume once it's pointed out.
Once it's pointed out, it's obvious, yes.
I mean, what do you want us to do about it? The man's dead now.
You can at least take him down.
How high up is he?
Not too high. It's a simple 10-foot ceiling. These weren't vaulted. You know, it wasn't a vaulted pavilion. A permanent pavilion kind of structure was what it was.
I'll look around. Anything that he might have written or anything?
Make some perception tests.
22.
Most perceptive drunk ever.
Ah.
I'm not drunk.
There's a difference between dwarven courage and drunk. Bugman's sick septuple X was also a magic item you could purchase for your army, and it would give you fearless.
That's pretty cool that it's like that. It feels like.
There's multiple instances of the Dwarven Army book that it takes place in.
I have a feeling that chance is because I'm not a dwarf.
You find that keepsakes scattered about where he was sitting previously. Things from friends, family members, child's toys, wife's locket. Kind of all kept in a small area around him. You guys make perception tests as well. If you're
almost like a shrine.
No, more like he just had them around himself as he was
21.
sitting.
13.
No, you both see it. Corners of his mouth, you see sores, warts, pustules. You see his throat has a few. His esophagus is darker than the surrounding skin, even through the soot.
Carmen, don't bring him down just yet. I'm gonna cast Detect Magic and just kind of look over the body and look and see if there's anything similar to like the rat that was thrown into.
It's not the rat that was thrown in there, but it's definitely you see latent. Make an Arcana check. Make an Arcana check to tell what it is. Backed by the other items, you also find that you find a large tankard that he had been drinking from.
Oh dear.
You got a high enough roll. Pick it up and take a whiff of it. It doesn't smell alcoholic. It was just water. But in the morning light, you see a rainbow ripple across the top of the little water that was left in it.
I look over at Linnea. I guess I noticed her eyes.
You can see the eyes.
Okay.
What did you...
20.
20? Demonic.
Oh.
Energy. Latent, faint. It's
like, is it
fading
dissipating or is it radiating still in an active sense?
Kind of like how the ember might be going cold but the burn from the ember is still there. You get what I mean?
Okay.
The cause is leaving, but the wound still remains.
She's like a hand on Carmen's shoulder, like, you don't want to touch that. I'm not sure if it's okay or not. It's been... I mean, this man has probably lost much to the storm of chaos, but I think there's something else involved. It looks almost... I want to say demonic. Like, it's not just chaos, like, in that very familiar sense we have dealt with and seen...
the marks and the...
Yeah, it looks different. And what is... Hildebrand, what is that?
This is apparently was what he was drinking from. I noticed this. It doesn't seem.
Kind of looking it over.
You see the same latent energy.
She looks at it and like turns around and just does like a 360 kind of just looking around and then like looking up at the sky.
There's a bucket. A bucket with a hempen rope around it, something you would dip in a well. That has a serving ladle in it that also has the same faint.
Okay, so she's taking note of that, and she's eyes still scanning around while talking to them. Did we see a well coming in? We're walking in. Did we notice a well?
There is a town well that you guys did see.
How far is it?
Closer to town square, actually. It's kind of in the middle of town square.
Like a 10-minute walk.
You guys just left the buildings that you guys were in.
Yeah.
Was all but like you're within the town square essentially.
Okay.
These were the only buildings.
So
that were really
it's within like
operational
25,
as
30
businesses.
feet, probably.
You said that it was mid-morning, but like, how active is it right now? Like, are people
Not
out and about?
very.
There's like nobody out.
There's people kind of walking about. But
If
nobody
there's something
seems...
wrong with that well, we need to do something before more people.
Well, let's get
fall
over there
to this
before
fate.
Yeah,
no
she's
longer
already
see.
trying to walk towards
We'll
the
deal
well.
with this later. Like, it's going
Walking towards the well, you see in the winds what would be a sickly yellow-green fog.
Does it seem like
Just
it's...
gently, as if it were steam off of a simmering pot coming out of the well water.
Carmen, could you cleanse this well? I mean, if it happens, if it comes back again, it means there's an outside thing, but without us diving within it, this is... The well itself is poisoned. It
try. Oh.
You do have, I think it's consecrate? Or ritual blessing, something along those lines?
Blessing is a ritual, yeah, I could use that. Let's see.
I don't think it's in that book.
No.
She's kind of just like looking up also to see if it looks like it's gonna rain, question mark? Like, does it look like it's overcast, like just passively gray-orange, or does it look like the sky is thinking about it, you know?
It looks like the sky is fat with fluid, but it won't open.
That with the fluid.
Let's not puncture that blister just yet, please.
Ew.
You're welcome for that.
Yeah.
Come on, theme, motherfuckers, theme.
Ceremony is the spell.
Ceremony. Okay. If I can do it as a ritual, then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So long as you have it prepared.
And what does it let me do?
Which book is that in?
Blessed water. Use it to atonement. You can perform the ritual to help somebody overcome an alignment shift. I might allow that to be used to possibly be used every once. I'd put a cooldown on it, but you might be able to use it to remove corruption points in this case, since I have abandoned the concept of alignment for this. You basically hear confession.
Okay.
Look at my corruption points. I'm suddenly self-conscious.
You're going down dark path.
You can bless water to cause it to become holy water. You've been doing that, so you do have it prepared because you've been making holy water.
That's just a different version of it.
A coming of age ceremony.
D&D, what the fuck?
What is that?
A dedication. You can touch a humanoid who wishes to dedicate to your god's service.
I mean, it kind of did
You
that.
can perform a funeral rite.
Well, you can do that.
That I've done too.
Yes, you did do
Remember?
that!
And you can,
I did all the things.
you can perform a wedding.
What a nice paladin.
Okay,
so
that's
when Nils
on
is
the
of
list.
age,
Yes.
you're gonna
But
oversee.
I think this would be purify food and water would technically work for this. To cleanse a well.
Okay.
But it would be a spellcast test.
I mean, I know it's not
It's
just
not
our
an
drinking. It's
instant.
a lot
This
of water,
is
but
powerful stuff.
Oh,
I mean, do you
God.
think Nils could help you? I mean, between the two of you, I feel like you've both...
Surely his faith is there to help.
If one
This is a
helps, you
lot.
would use whoever has the higher spellcasting modifier would perform the ritual.
I
And
thought
then
you were hitting my thigh!
I thought the same thing. The cat was just smacking us.
Also,
whoever
guidance.
has the highest spellcasting total would make the check. And then for every person that is helping that can cast the spell would give you an advantage.
Is that better than Nils casting guidance? Right?
Let's cast
what's-
guidance on the person
Oh.
who's gonna do it.
All non-magical food and drink within a 5-foot radius centered on a point of your choice within range is purified and rendered free of poison and disease.
So in other
I mean,
words,
it's not a
so in
normal
other words, you
disease,
could
though.
think 5 feet down, which would be
10
the
feet.
limit.
You can think 10 feet down and then 5 feet down from there.
Yeah.
So long as it touched the water, it would purify.
Okay. I will try to do that. So did you say like
Looking down, you can see it's a full well, so it's not very far down. It's maybe from where the ground gives way to from the lip of the well, which is about 3 feet up. It's about 15 feet from there, but you are technically touching the ground, and I'd say it's within range
Okay.
of whoever wanted to perform the ritual.
Okay. And what is this check?
This would be who's performing the ritual?
Who has the better...
It would be it's a spell, so it would be your spell casting proficiency bonus plus your spell casting modifier. So your proficiency bonus plus your spell mod. What's your proficiency bonus right now?
3.
Plus 3.
Which is charisma's my
Yours is... Yes, you're a charisma caster.
so that would be 5.
And Nils is wisdom.
Systems. He's 6.
Alright. Nils is...
So he could make the check with advantage if you helped.
Okay.
Maybe if you just guide him through what I've seen you do before, could learning
I
opportunity?
think in this situation, don't forget he was in the priesthood. This
Yeah.
is his specialty.
Nils, would you help us with this?
I'll give it a try.
I'll help you too. I've never done anything like this.
It would be appreciated. I think if you could purify the well, it would at least help this town. And I know you didn't want to leave without helping them in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
at
I'll
least
give it a go.
Okay.
He walks over and starts taking out his holy symbol and takes out looks like a bottle of oils. He starts setting up and preparing for the ritual at hand. He even takes out his copy of the Life of Sigmar and places it on the ground and opens it to a page.
Could he use guidance on himself?
No.
No.
Guidance just gives advantage.
Oh.
No, you add
it
a
gives a
D4.
D4?
Yeah, and it says one willing creature. Are you willing?
I can't help. I don't think I could help.
No, I'm saying it says touch one willing creature.
Technically, any touch spell can be cast on yourself, I believe.
Yeah.
by rules.
What do you do?
Although it's weird that you're casting guidance
How
on
do you
yourself.
guide your? Like, is that?
No, you wouldn't be able to do that because guidance only lasts a minute. And
Oh, and the
the
ritual.
the ritual would last longer than that.
I see.
That makes sense, actually.
How long is? Oh, the food and drink would be 10 or 11, however that
It'd be
works.
11 because it takes 1 minute to cast.
Yeah.
Or if it's even one action, it
Okay.
would be 10 minutes and 6 seconds.
So Nels.
I'm keeping an eye out to see if anyone is noticing what we're doing and approaching us, since we're at the well.
Well, and we're.
This is their
blessing
town
it.
well. Well, they
Yeah.
don't. They might not know that at first.
It's also a priest.
Yeah.
Obvious cleric of Sigmar.
Oh, I
Okay.
got to drink it, and she comes to say hi. Do you want to sit on my lap? She's like, I just want to
Nope,
put my face.
just want to rub her face on things. Okay.
You have things with corners. I want to rub my face.
So, rolling.
No.
You stab yourself,
No, one of the pins popped out.
so you're preventing being stabbed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay, you got good armor.
Once you're ready, make a wisdom spellcasting check with advantage.
Okay. Oh my god. The whole thing came off.
Fix it at the break. Just make sure it's closed for
Yeah,
now.
just don't stab yourself.
It's falling off. Okay. Wisdom.
Yes. It's a spellcasting check for him, so it's proficiency plus his spellcasting modifier, which is wisdom.
So plus 6. And with advantage.
With advantage because you are helping. So Carmen takes up the attendee's position, holding the book for him, making sure his regents are at hand as he begins to speak the holy words from the book that is the life of Sigmar.
She's gonna place her hand on his shoulder like this, close her eyes a little bit. Here we go.
Give it a roll.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
19?
Alright.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay. I can live with that.
How long does detect magic last?
10 minutes.
Okay, so it fades while they're performing the ritual, but you can see the divine, the faith energies swirling from them. And as he completes his prayer, he reaches over and closes the book. Says, opens his eyes and looks and says, I believe this well is now clean.
Carmen kind of leans over and uses her divine sense.
It feels free of chaos and corruption.
It might be a good idea to get all of these people some fresh water. It might, while it's still blessed this way, maybe it might actually help.
I don't know if this was the only way. They were,
I mean, the town isn't exactly sizable. I don't think they had multiple wells.
for all we know, this is just one effort
Barrels.
among many efforts. They'll come from different angles. That's the whole nature of chaos.
Oh, I'm sure we're not going to prevent it for their long lives, but what I'm saying is we don't know if they were storing water in barrels as well. I would tell them possibly to, if we have a town board, let them know to expunge any stores they have, just to be safe. The well we know now is clean, but we don't know if the other stores are.
New.
Are there any, like, obviously there's no, like, town crier, right?
No, there's
That's good.
barely
That's
a
Gerhardt.
town. There's barely a town right now.
Yeah.
No, not town crying person. Town crier.
Yeah.
I thought he was some
Subtle
sort of.
difference.
I thought he was some sort of town official or something, town
I mean,
crier.
Referred to as a
Herald.
guy that knows everyone.
The innkeep is probably the fulcrum of this town at this point. Maybe we should go back and tell him, because if we're going to hope for the distribution of information, where else would
Yes.
who
We
would
don't
be best
know
suited
what
for
we're
that?
gonna walk into.
Although too, he did not know about the
No, but
phony
are you going to
Yanni.
leave the information with the drunkard in hope that he's going to accurately tell the rest of the town?
No, I know. No.
He's my second choice, clearly, but...
All right, let's go back to the inn.
As you come back in, you see at the bar is Gerhardt. His hands are out, holding his tankard up. In a piteous position, his head down. And standing on the other side of him is, I believe his name is Nicholas. Peter. I was going to say Peter. His last name is Peterson. His name is Nicholas. He's just shaking his head. And as you walk in, no, you don't have the money to pay for the dwarf stuff. I don't care if you said you've had it before. You don't have it. Please. I feel so much better. Please.
Oh dear, that seems the stuff is rather addictive.
Go sit down at your table. Maybe later I'll give you a sip. And as he sees you coming in, oi! Did you end up giving him something from the dwarf stock?
It was an accident, sir. We will make amends however way we can, but we walked away, we planned on talking to you, but we took notice of, unfortunately,
Your blacksmith
He's hanging.
is hanging from his rafters.
Shit.
I know that is not probably something you're not used to seeing, but at the same time, we do have some good news for you. Ouch.
Anything would sound like good news after hearing.
Well, apparently we found out why your townspeople may have been sick.
There's been a bit of a blight going around.
Our paladin and her squire were able to cleanse the well. It had been tainted with something unmentionable.
Everyone drinks from that well.
Do you keep stores or any barrels?
Explains why he's not the one that's hasn't been sick yet.
Huh.
He doesn't drink water.
Oh, that's funny. There's a lesson in that.
Noodle!
No, you're not climbing up there.
It has
Stay
a
down.
corner. I must
She
rub
does
on
like
it.
to lay on that.
Oh my god.
There's pictures
It's
on
a
Twitter.
it's a new DM accessory.
Cat?
That
Cat.
she dusts it with her
Cat
belly.
attachment.
Yeah.
Supplemental cat.
He says, explains that. It only started a week ago. I have my own cistern out back.
Maybe we should take a look at it just in case.
I mean, I can look at your stores if you would like, but we can only guarantee to the safety of the well water at the moment.
Oh, it's a rain catch. It's locked. I've got a rain catch on the roof. I
It
decided
should.
to build it instead of having to go out to the well every morning. People come in here. I have to cook. I have to bake. I have to.
Have you ever fallen ill?
I've been all right.
I mean, it doesn't take long for me to check if we
Yeah.
want to be safe. I don't mind.
Better safe than sorry.
I
As an
appreciate it.
apology for us serving him with your...
Out of curiosity, where did you come by that?
Come by what?
The dwarven stock.
Oh, it was a gift
Oh,
Dwarven merchant came through.
a what merchant?
A dwarven.
Dwarven
A
merchant
dwarven
came
merchant.
through.
I was.
Coming from Wolfenberg.
You must have done
Said,
quite the service.
Said he had the best meal he'd had on the road in the past month. And he didn't have money with him to pay, so he gave me the barrel of that one small barrel. You notice it wasn't a huge keg, it was kind of like a
small cask.
maybe like a 10-gallon cask. No, not a 10-gallon cask, like a 5-gallon cask. Nothing huge.
We're not talking like Gara's thing here. We're
No.
looking like something I can hold in my hands here.
No,
Yeah.
meh, you know.
Yeah.
This is he just said it was said I'd make more off this than anything else in my stock. I know people around here don't really like dwarven make.
Pity.
Well,
They clearly don't have a talented palate in their heads, then.
you know how citizens of the Empire can be.
Well, we were going to actually be leaving town soon, but before we go, we did want to let someone know about the blacksmith. But also, I will look at your rain stores if you want, just to double check.
Thank you. I'll have to go get somebody to help me down. Yeah, maybe Lucas will help.
It's not my place to tell you what to do, but I believe you should burn the body.
We've gotten into the habit of that ever since the beastmen started attacking. We'd find that they'd dig up the bodies and take the skulls sometimes. So we got into the habit of just doing it right.
You said Lucas?
Yeah, Lucas Schmidt. He's one of the others that live in town.
Has he been sick?
He's looked a little pale lately.
Well, might I suggest anybody that you know is ill, you might want to tell them to make a point of taking a drink while they can, quickly, of the well water while it's still.
Well, any clean water will help. I'll also let anybody know just to drink from my cistern for a while if you say it's clear.
All right.
See if you excuse me. He kind of somberly puts his rag back on the bar and heads out the front.
All right. So they at least know how to properly deal with diseased
I'm
bodies.
just left with Gerhard sobbing softly.
I wonder what he would look like, how tall he would be if he grew a spine. Like,
It's not necessarily that he doesn't have it, it's that it might just be under a lot of weight.
yes, well, a lot of people are. Some people fall under that weight, and some people carry it nobly. Oh.
At any rate, we can get going, hopefully, once you look at the rainwater, and then we'll be able
I'll be able to find
get
it
there.
easily enough.
If you do detect magic, you can sense it.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll actually check it.
Going around the side of the building, you see a large slatted barrel looking like almost like 3/4 of a barrel attached to the side of the building. Metal bands, like 6 metal bands around the outside, and you see there's a metal cap on top, and the only hatch is locked with a padlock.
But if I like smoothing my hands over it, can I feel if the winds are without
I was
having to
just
open?
describing what you're
Okay.
seeing. And there is a gutter system that goes to the top of the roof, and it's almost like a second chimney with an open pan to the sky. And as you look to to investigate for any ill winds, you notice it seems pretty pure. Nothing seems to be different about this than standard water.
I think they'll be fine. I mean, you both were able to take care of the well, and this seems, as far as I can tell, I mean, as clean as sedentary water gets around here.
Like I said, we've helped them for now, but these cultists, if they stick around, they're gonna find other means.
I have a feeling it might not have been the cultists that did this to the well. I think it might have been good old phony Jan.
When he passed through?
Possibly.
Well,
he would have passed right by the well.
Well, Jan and the cultists are of the same cloth, if you know what I mean.
Yes. All it would take would be one spit from him.
I mean, that's not really how magic works, but I understand what you're saying. We should probably be on our way, though.
That's fine.
I go over to Gerhardt. How much did he tell you another tankard of?
He said it'd be at least a gold. I haven't seen a gold piece. Year and a half.
Really? Really right now?
Patron saint of drunks, it's fine.
Renaud has smiled on you today, and I plop 5 gold pieces down on the table.
We have visited upon this town. They should be making
His eyes go wider than even...
When we come back, there better be statues.
I want songs, alright?
His eyes go wider, even wider than when he drank Bugman's. He says, You really mean? Is... for me?
Of course.
Thank you, sir. Hugs you. Just full body dives on you. Just says. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes, you're very welcome.
Great lady. You smell nice too. Just hugs you and continues to cry on your shoulder.
Yes.
I mean, at least he didn't try and grope you.
At least he's letting it out.
I mean,
in a way.
All right. Well, you can give that to the barman when he gets back, and you can drink to your fullest of this fine ale.
Or, Linnea leans in, you could use it to rebuild your life. Drink it away or do something constructive.
This is an intervention.
Oh my god! D&D interventions.
Oh, hello. My name is Gerhardt. Hi, Gerhardt.
She's being serious.
And
On
as
that,
you head out to make your
Yes.
way onto the road, we shall take
a break.
Oh my god,
Our
I've had
break.
to pee. I'm so excited. Thank you.
I'm so excited.
Before you go, you start heading in the direction of Ruhrhof.
Specifically, we were going towards Wolfenburg, the estate, I think, first, because it was on the way.
No, Wolfenburg was farther.
Farther?
Wolfenburg is the furthest away.
Okay. Then yes, your first
Ruhrhof
statement.
was all of like 2 days between.
Okay.
So basically you'll ride out this morning, you'll rest once, and then you'll be in Ruhrhof the next day, at least by night. Or at least just outside Ruhrhof.
Yeah?
I thought it was an alert.
Oh.
I was just about to press a button.
So vocal.
Oh, no.
What was she trying to tell you?
Oh.
What's that? Timmy's in the well? No, we just did the well.
Oh,
Wow! It's like, I need butt pats now!
When she wakes up, she likes to talk to us.
Sammy's
So-
the same way.
I'm sorry. Traveling.
Getting back onto the road, you travel north east in the direction of Wolfenberg on your way to Rohrhof. This patch of the woods feels less vibrant. You knew that Kitchdorf was recovering. The surrounding forest and the road on its way to Rohrhof is not recovering in the same way. You see massive growths of tentworm colonies strangling trees. You see dripping funguses that occasionally string into the road, leaving a rope of fungus 10, 12, 15 feet high.
I think it's safe to say there's no elves treating these woods.
Are you relieved?
Perhaps.
I mean,
Although it's somewhat sad.
it would probably do better. It definitely needs.
Make perception tests.
16.
4.
6.
Hildebrand is able to see the marks of military passing, both along the road and across it. Signs of large herds moving through the woods, scattering trees and brush. You notice this area of the woods, being as sick as it is, you've seen dead woods before. A wood that is dry, okay?
Yeah, I just dropped the thing.
Okay. A wood in the winter. And then comes springtime, couldn't recover. Near a wildfire. You've seen dead woods before.
We saw them right as we were going into the pyramids.
You've never seen a dead wood
From sickness.
that was so alive at the same time. Carrion insects seem to be a little bit more prominent than what you're used to seeing.
I point all this out to Carmen. She would have more knowledge of such things.
As he points it out, you truly start to see the health, failing as it is, of this part of the forest. You were so focused on looking for movement, looking for hostility, that you really weren't taking the time to look around you. And as soon as he points it out, that's when you start to smell fermenting vegetation, fermenting on the vine, a smell of sweet, musky decay.
Is this still the same day?
This is about 3 hours into your walk in the direction of Rohrhof.
This does not bode well for Rohrhof.
What do you mean?
This forest is sick.
If it continues like this, I can only imagine what we'll encounter there.
if things got worse the further north, we're going into it.
We're going into danger.
I was about to say, we're going into a most dreadful place that
Is this
will make the sewers seem like a springtime vacation.
Is it akin to how it was corrupted ground on the runes? In the sense that, like...
This feels more... The corrupted grounds were hidden by the fact that it was in a swamp. Any kind of decay was already in
The swamp.
a swamp.
Yeah.
But this doesn't feel aggressive. It feels as though it's a symptom.
I mean, we knew anytime we were going further north, danger increases no matter what. Yes, the storm's over, but the closer north you go, the closer you are to...
I'm saying I don't think there's going to be any people in Verhoff.
Well, it's less people that they can use against us, at least, if you look at it that way.
Less people to get in the way that we have to look after. I'm okay with
means
that.
They might be rampant. They might have taken the whole town.
Well, what might be smart is before we go waltzing into the town, if we kind of scout ahead and be as careful as we can before just frolicking in. I mean, if we are worried that they've taken root here and that we're walking into basically their home grounds, as it were, having as much information as possible before we go in could be great. I mean, Hildebrand, you've been amazing at seeing things ahead, so if you were comfortable when we get closer, maybe taking a look around and taking note of any, like, buildings people could be hiding in, if there's any activity.
Well, with the cloak, hopefully that'll help. Or worse comes to worse, I can actually just make myself invisible.
It's very true. I mean, I'm sure it'll help. I know there are probably people there who would be able to detect magic as well. So just be careful. You're not completely safe, even invisible.
No, I understand that. Well, we're still a few days from there anyway. But
We get a short rest, right? And then it's still another...
If you wish, you can take a short rest. It's like an hour break on the road.
So I get my
You'll still be able to
inspiration
make
back.
time.
Yeah, okay. I mean, if you're okay with taking a short rest, let's have lunch, discuss what we want to do in terms of how we're going to get in there. I don't want to walk into this without having my full arsenal at fingertip.
Are you doing arcane recovery? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what that was, sorry.
And I'll recover
Your bardic
my
inspiration.
bardic inspiration. So I'm all set with that because I didn't use any mana.
That means technically, no, you're a long rest. Because you isn't to see the chaos, that's the thing.
Oh, I have a bunch of those charges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus, you also have the prayer book of the blah blah blah, and you have
Yeah.
the
The
ring.
prayer book is for short rests too.
Yeah, but I haven't,
You haven't
really
used
used
anything,
anything.
so we're good.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll take a short rest. Brief respite. We'll have something to eat.
After your short respite, you take to the road once more. Do you have a preference as to how you're traveling at this point now?
I'll go in the front. Keep my eyes out.
Okay. Then perception test.
Rolled off the 20.
I hate that.
13.
Yeah, you catch the one. A little bit of ways ahead of the group. You see etched into a tree just off the road. looks like carved into a tree. The bark removed. Kind of stands out amongst the rest.
What is it?
A carving in a tree.
Oh, do I?
Well, I'm saying,
I'll-
you noticed it off the road.
Okay.
I wasn't going
There's
to go
something
full
over
on.
there. Something carved into that tree.
Start to walk over toward it. See if I can make it out.
As you get closer, you start to see its shape take form. It's 3 circles in a triangular form. And in the center of it, pinned, something that is not carved into the tree, but pinned into the tree. A steel or ironwork fly nailed there in the very center of the 3 circles.
Fly?
Kind of coming up from behind Carmen to see for herself. Does she recognize it?
You've made enough arcane checks, and you've recognized this before. You've already made the check for this three times, I think. You know what this is.
I
Okay.
feel like we've all seen the symbol. We recognize
But she's
it.
made the Arcana check several
I feel like
times.
we'd at least know it was something we recognized.
It looks familiar.
Yeah.
Right.
She's the one with the info.
What is this again?
I mean, without a doubt, we're walking into cultist territory. I mean,
It's unsurprising.
We
know what we're walking into.
is it just more of like this is my territory, or does it seem like it might be something that is detect magic?
I guess if you wanted to detect magic.
Just to kind of look it over and see if it's something that is radiating.
The whole forest seems to have a little bit of a tinge to it, but it's not specifically emanating from the symbol or its emblem at the center.
With her eyes all bleeding black, she's like, I had hoped that maybe this might have been a component to the symptom of what the wood's suffering from, but it's just more of a marker than anything else. And while her eyes are still wide, she's just kind of looking over and...
What do you think the fly means?
Well, I mean, in the note from earlier from the cultists, I think they make mention of, it's a bit of a motif.
Mm.
Or they call him the maggot god. For some reason, I thought there was a mention of
the fly symbol is rather. Make an Arcana check.
Don't fuck me, dice. It's been a night, okay?
Ooh.
21.
You know that Nurgle cults, they use the same motifs, but they never do the same exact
To
symbol.
separate their sect, almost.
So sometimes instead of 3 circles, it's 3 very squat flies all kind of pointing into the center. Sometimes it's 3 bot fly larvae mashed on top of each other with a fly sitting over the top. Sometimes it's a fly with the 3 circle tattoos on it. This seems like the personal symbol of a sect of Nurgle,
Okay,
of a
that's,
specific cult.
Okay, that's not really new. All right.
Have we seen this specific mark before?
I will double check for you, actually. Because you may have.
Because I seem to remember when Phony Jan, like,
Why do you
ripped.
keep calling him Jan? He's not Jan. We
I
hasn't been Jan.
That's Tobias? I kept forgetting the name. I just remember him as Phony Jan. Phony Yanni.
I know that we encountered the Trimark, but I thought it was not moon, but I think it was just like the circles.
It didn't have
We didn't
the
have the fly, yeah. That's why I in game I didn't know if she knew exactly.
No, she doesn't. You haven't seen this one in particular.
Okay.
You don't know what they might be called.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know the name of their sect, but it just seems like a territorial marking for that particular group. And if we are to believe that Lucius is the father of Ruprecht, and Ruprecht lived in this area, then I would assume that is the calling card of their group with Tobias and the lot.
Yeah.
Not that I necessarily know what to do with that, but like,
This basically
confirms without a doubt. I mean, we should be very careful going forward. Maybe Hildebrand, if you go a little bit going forward, we'll stay a little bit behind, or if you want someone to check for magic, I can come with you, but I can't promise how quiet I will be.
Well, I can take care of that, perhaps. And I will... Let's see, which one was it again?
Abilities?
Cat's Grace.
Cat's Grace.
I mean, I have the Dex ring, but it's not. That's for like if I'm gonna fall through forest or something. That's not gonna help me be quiet if I want to come with you.
Well, this will give you advantage on stealth and Dex rolls. Anything related to Dex.
Then, yeah, I mean, I'll come forward with you and try and keep an eye on any magical symptoms. Maybe if I make notice of any, if they've trapped the area, I'll try and keep an eye out for that. Carmen Mills.
I'll make sure we don't get ambushed.
Thank you. Yes.
You guys 6 or 7 right now.
What? We are 7.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
We are
yeah.
7 and 35 points away from 8.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Oh, I never added the 5 points.
I mean, your pen's right there if you want.
No. Okay.
Celebrate your elevated level.
Yes, my 5 XP.
Listen, 5 XP adds up, damn it.
Indeed.
You now take to walking side by side for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And me and Nils are behind, kind of keeping an eye out, looking behind us, around, make sure nothing's coming.
The rest of the day, although unnerving to see the way this part of the forest falls to its demise slowly, you find no other sign or concerning location. But you do find a small outcropping just off the beaten road, where you might be able to set up a camp for the night as the sun begins to get low in the sky.
Okay. I mean, do you think we're going to make it any further, or do you want to rest here?
Well,
We
If you
might
want,
not.
you can make a survival check to see if that would, what your options are.
Bless you.
Thank you. Hopefully, I covered the mic enough so that it didn't deafen anybody. 'Cause I know I can. I can let go with quite the.
Personality.
I can let go with quite the.
Personality.
I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with quite the. I know I can let go with qu Ow, that actually hurt from holding it back. Ow.
What'd you get on your survival check?
11.
You're fairly sure if you pushed on without resting, you'd be tired, but you'd get there by morning. And you'd be traveling through the night.
That's what I figured.
But if you rested here, you'd be able to make it by maybe noon the next day. It's a well-traveled road, so you actually made some pretty good time.
Well, if we keep going and not sleep, we could get there by morning.
I made some rolls to check.
Yes, but the thing is, we'd be much closer to the danger at
In
a
the middle of the night.
disadvantage.
Yes, it would be. At the same time, though, we could be ambushed tonight, too. I mean, obviously, we're going to have a watch, but we're going to be vulnerable.
Well, we'll have the watch and we'll be somewhat protected by...
You do have your protection still?
It's not necessarily a protection. I mean, it makes it more comfortable. We won't be rained on. It isn't something that will 100% keep us safe. I mean, I could go further if we wanted to, but if you guys are going to be useless come morning...
Yeah, by the time we get there, we're gonna be so exhausted. If something bad does meet us, we're...
If we just keep on going through without getting any sort of a rest, we're going to be at a severe disadvantage.
Okay, it sounds like you've made your decision, and we'll just be very strict about our watches. No falling asleep on them. No dreams of birdmen for us, thank you.
I couldn't help it that if he invaded them.
I know, but there might be birds everywhere.
Birds.
If you like, I'll start.
We haven't heard any
Birds.
though, in this area. Yeah.
Birds.
You haven't heard
Just the
much of
insects.
any. Heard the marching of ants, the buzzing of flies, crawling of beetles, but you haven't heard larger wildlife.
I don't think any birds are gonna get you. Although you might want to be careful about spiders.
I mean, if you
I
clear,
would never.
if you clear the air,
Oh, but you would.
if you 100% incinerate and clean the area we are sleeping in, and then I cast my circle, then spiders can't make their way in.
Okay.
Hildebrand, get to work, sweep the floor.
His prestidigitation clears a.
I can clear. It cleans. It'll clear. It'll burn, whichever I.
As you prepare your.
I mean, I was joking, but that's fantastic.
He doesn't.
You're preparing to clear the circle.
Yeah, and then once it's cleared, she'll start making her way around the
ground. You see in certain patches must have been buried in the earth with some kind of nest. You see pale white fingers, chubby little things kind of reaching for the sky with brown, yellow little heads. As maggots the size of fingers writhe and kind of plop.
The fire doesn't take care of them?
I'm saying as you're doing these, this is what you're seeing. As you burn it away. The ground releasing these, and you quickly either push them away or burn them.
Burn.
Oh my god, the tail came off.
Oh my god. You gotta stop fidgeting with the fur. It's a real fur.
I wasn't playing with it when it broke. I was just sitting here and I moved my arm.
Okay. Alright, so the circle's cleared, right?
The circle clears
as best as that. I mean, if you really want to sleep here, anything that's further down that you did not clean will be sealed in to sleep with us. To be very clear, last chance. Just sitting
Can't you
there
put
with
it under
her
us?
staff.
Oh my god.
Can't
you
you
make
put
a
it?
survival check if you wish to see. There's more. or possibilities.
I can't believe
I mean, does the
Playing
clearing
into
look
his
like
phobia.
a natural clearing, or does it feel like it was cleared out by?
Oh, great. 7. Wait, no, sorry. 10.
You're fairly sure it's clear.
It'll be fine. Look, it's gross, I know, but there are worse things to worry about.
Nils just kind of said, I don't know about you, but I don't think I'm going to be collecting anything. I think we should just eat from what we have in my pack.
Of
I
course.
agree. Yeah.
No problem there.
I would not chance
He
this.
starts rummaging around for simple camp rations as you finish your ritual. You feel the calming snap and hum of the tiny hut coming into being. You can't see its walls, but you know they're there. The interior feels warm. There's no chill in the air of the autumn breeze. Small fire that Nils makes emanates and permeates the whole space. And he warms up some salt beef, hydrates it slightly with a little water. It's almost as if he's too nervous to even let the water hit the air, that it might putrefy somehow. And you're able to have a meager but manageable meal in this very unappetizing locale.
I do think we would be worse off had we tried to
Listen,
go
and
on.
take this opportunity to arrest all of you. I mean, Nils, it's up to you if you want to trust me with the watch, but I only need to film in the cover for 4 hours. Only 4 hours does someone else need to take watch. The rest of the time, I think you guys should rest.
I'll watch first, and then I'll let you know. If we are going to be ambushed, it'll probably be sooner rather than later.
Okay.
Alright.
First watch.
Yep.
Make a perception test.
Oh no! This was a bad decision!
Make 2.
Oh god, this was a worse decision.
She's like, oh, every
Not
time.
with advantage, just make 2 separate
I know,
perception tests.
I know.
Oh,
I feel so naked
do-do-do-do.
Okay, oh my god.
I'm inspiring my sleep. Oh, yeah,
So
do-do-do-do.
1 is a 3. Well, actually, the first one is a 9. The second one is a 3.
Is that
In
with
case
all
the
your
order mattered. Yeah.
Okay.
And my perception, I only get +1. I took survival. I did not take perception.
That's fair.
Yeah. I also have insight, which I almost never get to use.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a peopling skill.
Yeah.
You wake everyone up in the second hour
How?
because you were startled.
Wow, I sabotaged my friends.
Sitting at the fire, tending to it. You really weren't paying attention. Coming up behind you, a loud, crackling thrum and thump as something makes contact with the hut. You nearly jump out of your skin with a shout.
Ah!
Literally just
Her
explodes
heart's
from that.
pounding, adrenaline's rushing.
Standing up. What is it?
Moves over to the noise without saying anything. Holding her axe. Oh my god, I scared your cat. I feel bad.
You scared us all.
She's just bathing.
No.
No,
Amelia.
Amelia came out.
Aw.
I tried so hard to be friends with her, and now I feel like I just took like 10 steps back. Yeah.
On the other side of this invisible barrier that Linear constructed for you, you see a stag but from its horns, pitted and pockmarked, hangs clumps of drooping moss. Its eyes, milky white cataracts, black mucus dripping from its nostrils and the edges of its mouth as it blindly walks through the forest. It didn't charge into
It just
the
walked
dome.
into it.
It bumped into it.
Sorry.
Poor creature.
It walked into the tent.
It's fine.
I don't...
I'd rather you be more careful than less. Are you sure you can keep...
Yeah.
You sure? You don't want
Yeah.
someone to swap out?
No, I'm fine. Just... should put it out of its misery.
I mean,
Creatures aren't meant to live like this.
you can if you want. The field will let you come back in just fine. I mean, it'll probably just run off the second you go out there.
Did you see its eyes?
Everything here is sick. I understand wanting to put it down,
There's
but
just so many. One versus... I'll just leave it be.
The stag slowly makes its way back into the forest, stumbling. You can hear it crashing through the brush now, occasionally bumping into trees.
your god, Tal, maybe focus on that tonight while you watch. It might make you more comfortable. Just like put staff down and just slowly just starts like shimmying back into blankets. It's just she's like watching her like last chance.
And
I'm
she's gone.
Throws blanket over face and burrows in.
And she's gone.
The next 2 hours. The next hour passes without incident. Who was supposed to take the next watch?
She was going to.
You will go over, nudge Lanier to wake her up for her.
Like, shake her a little bit in her little cocoon.
It just burrows out, her hair just like my turn? Okay. Just kinda like crawls out.
You've gotten enough rest that
Yeah.
you can begin the 1 hour of rest for your elven trance.
Okay. Do I need to roll?
I thought you were going to...
Huh?
You were in the middle of a moment. I was just giving you information for your trance situation.
Okay,
How rested you are.
She got up. I didn't know if you were gonna. You want to talk to me some more? You gonna talk to me? I don't know. You want to go to bed? I don't know what was happening. It was an awkward silence.
So she woke you up.
Yeah.
You were in the middle of role-playing a sequence. I was just letting you know
Yeah.
what your trance was, and
know.
I didn't know if you guys... I interrupted.
I didn't know either.
Anyway, fine then.
It's a hell of a place for a
2
sleepover.
perception tests.
You got this.
Alright.
Carmen then goes into her bedroll because it's warm
Pre-toast.
already. She snuggles in.
15 on the first one.
Okay.
Fucker.
Listen, you want this.
I do want this.
The exact same.
Wow. Wow.
That's very weird. I don't know how I feel about all those ones.
I like 11s. 11 is good.
Is it?
The fire casts quality light into the surrounding forest. And you see a good portion of trees, shadows, as they head out and fade into darker and darker shadows. And normally the shadows stay put. Some of these trees look like they lift up and come back down.
Literature nerd. Sorry. Keeping it deep.
Another tree in the distance lifts up and comes down.
Does it look like they're going in a certain direction?
Laterally. Not in the direction of the town. Not in the direction of Rurhaw. Maybe heading away from Rurhaw.
Oh, that can't be good.
Deeper into the woods.
The forest is revolting.
Spreading, inching.
It's trying to get
They
away.
remind you of great hairy spider's legs lifting and placing down in a slow cadence.
Spider's legs.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
You have my. Does it count?
I have
when I'm
advantage
asleep?
because of my
I will
mantle.
allow.
You didn't rework
You
it
have
yet.
advantage.
Okay.
I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't reword it, but you know I didn't write it down, but you know what I wanted to change on that thing.
You get a +2.
Uh, 16 on the first roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 16 on the first roll.
The sheer scope of the size of what the way you're perceiving this event happen, the sheer scope of the size of the spider that you would have to deal with, kind of wrap your mind around it for a few moments and then dismiss it. Your brain
Nope.
smoothing it over. It's a play of the trees, flicker of the firelight. It couldn't have been what you just observed.
To be extra careful, her paranoia in nature. She's just going to look into the forest with extra care to make sure nothing's actually there.
You're gonna detect magic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna do another corruption test. I swear to
Roll
Christ.
roll a perception test and then a corruption test.
Oh, son of a bitch. Why do I do this?
I don't know.
I know it's a bad idea, but alright, perception. Nine on perception.
So
Wait,
maybe
I'm gonna
you
roll
didn't
with. Yeah, did I see it?
Maybe.
My perception 9.
Roll the corruption test.
Oh my god.
Man. All right. Natural 1.
Take a corruption point.
By the way,
So,
I want to point out, I
what
think
happens?
I actually might have reached. Isn't it? What was it? Is it charisma or wisdom? Oh, it's our wisdom. So when I hit 12, what happens?
If you're at 12, you're all right. If
Okay.
you exceed 12,
Okay.
You're fucked.
you go into
Frenzy.
Okay, wrong game.
despair. Despair. And then every time you would gain a corruption point while you're in despair, there's a possibility that you will go into your trigger.
Okay. I'm at 9, but just saying, if you figure out a way to fucking that thing that was mentioned earlier.
That's something we
You
should
activate
explore.
your
Because I
detect
don't
magic.
know that you've been piling those on with your Dar, because half the time I haven't seen it, and I don't know how it works. So I don't know that you've been piling them on. You have to, let me know your feelings.
You activate your detect magic. And you're blinded by the chaotic swirl.
It's not like before. It was just a fog. Now it's getting worse.
No, it's still a fog. But now you're convinced you're seeing shit. The images are worse. All the trees are spiders' legs. Every brush is a thorax.
I thought you were about to put a hand on my arm, and I
Every
swear to
rock.
Christ, I was just gonna panic punch you.
No, I don't want to be punched.
Every rock is carapace.
I took my hand off the table because you were leaning on it hard, and I didn't want to add more weight.
Every branch is a leg of a smaller one. Around you, the entire forest is very much alive, but the forest crawls. And you feel unhinged. Before you had worked it out, it wasn't a problem. You dove deeper, and you feel like now you can see a march of carrion and insect and arachnid and millipede, centipede, invertebrate of every kind replaces what you would see as the forest. And then as you sit there, breathing heavily, staring into as you stare into the winds, as the fog that is making all of these things perceived that way starts to dissipate. You see it all come back and still and slow. And you start to realize, no, they hadn't moved. It looked like they were moving, but they never changed location. Kind of like watching an animatronic that you hold your finger on, and it animates as if it's in a running cycle, but it never moves from its location. You're just holding it in place. You were convinced that the whole forest was alive in this way, but as it just kind of dissipates after that 10 minutes of detect magic, everything returns to its still state.
She's kind of edged her way closer into the circle where everyone's sleeping and kind of positioned herself as best she can quietly, just kind of like, but like as close to the rest of her friends' bodies as possible while she's sitting there fucking sweating profusely for an elf, just watching. And her hand on her staff, she was like prepared like to cast if she needed to. So she's awake. I'm awake, and is never going to sleep again.
Okay, that's fine.
You lose your long rest.
Oh, fuck me.
Everyone else retains theirs because of the way she handled it, but you do not receive the benefits of a long rest, even as an elf who only needs 4 hours.
I let her sleep the 4 hours, but I
You let her
guess
sleep.
You woke me up, by the way, earlier.
You let her sleep 3,
Yeah.
and she would have needed 1 more hour of uninterrupted rest. Basically, you don't have to sleep all of your time as your long rest, as long as you spend 1/4 of the time doing light activity. It technically still counts as a long rest. So you can sleep 6 hours and do light activity for 2 if you're a human. Elves, it's 4 hours, 1 hour of light activity, 3 hours of doing the whole like just staring that Legolas does. Elf dreams.
Why are you gonna make it sound so homosexual?
Because it kind of is.
Oh.
I can't help
The
it.
sea is
Tolkien-
calling me.
I can't help
The sea
it.
is calling
I
me.
can't help it that Tolkien had a hard on for elves. Anyway,
That's what he wrote the language.
you would have had
Yeah.
that benefit, but you kind of freaked yourself out pretty quick, and you spend the rest of the time on your watch, basically with a hand out, ready to cast at anything. And in the morning, as the sun just starts to breach the trees, and the pale light starts to come through, and Lynira starts to feel a little relief at the coming dawn, you all begin to wake up.
And she looks at us like,
Is she still like huddled?
And
like
she, yeah.
am I right with the...
Yeah. Ask her. Look at her. Ask her. How does she look?
Oh dear. Is everything all right?
Hello?
How well did you sleep?
Fine, thank you. And
Everyone feels okay?
yes.
I'm convinced we just slept in corrupted ground.
did.
We don't need to sleep here again. If we're gonna sleep
No.
again somewhere else, it's gonna be not in this woods.
Not here. All right.
Oh.
I'm unnerved.
What happened?
As dead as this forest is, it is not empty. I don't know. But we should go.
Did you see more of the stags?
No.
Sick animals?
This entire place is sick. I don't know what I saw in the sense other than I know that this place is so saturated with corruption. It might as well be your biscuit when Nils cooks in the morning.
Oh, I mean, this sort of sickness can seep into your mind. I mean, it gets to you. It's best that we just get out of it as soon as possible.
Yeah, although it seems like we're walking further into it.
Well, we'll make it to Rurhop today. Going back, though.
I mean, I don't think, even if I had the time to sleep, I would get it much anyway. We should just pack up our things and get moving.
Okay.
She's just like exhausted.
She just wants to get out of here.
Nils prepares he basically just puts together on wood planks just cheeses, dried fruit, nuts, and some bread, hardtack. Yeah, nothing. Everything sustainable, nothing fresh, but it's still pure and prepared food.
It's fine, I'm not complaining. Couldn't eat much anyway. How gross everything is around here.
Still need your energy.
Yeah. Nibbling on the food.
He packs everything up, throws his pack on. Says, so, how close do you think we are?
It'll just be... We'll get there by midday, maybe sooner.
Which is about how many hours away?
Well, what time is it?
Well, we woke up in the morning.
He said we'd get there around noon.
3 or 4 hour walk.
Yeah.
Left.
All right.
Just a few more hours. Maybe 3-4 hours.
All right.
We'll get
Just
there
about,
today.
Just about. Well, first off, the effects of the beer is gone. Yes.
I'm sorry, I was reading.
The effect of the beer.
The effect of the beer
yes?
is gone. Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right. When we get to about an hour away, just give a heads up. You'd be able to keep track of that better, I suppose.
Why?
Well, I can cast my multiply spell on my bullets.
They only last an hour.
No, 8 hours. But I don't want to be
Wasting
in case we get stuck out here for more time.
Okay, I'll let you know when I think we're close.
I mean, it's good to know anyway.
Yeah.
Are you taking point? Or are you scouting ahead?
I'll scout ahead.
Okay. Perception tests, survival tests.
And that will be a 24.
Oh my god. Why do I roll such shit?
It's been a night for us. It's very high, very
7.
low.
Yeah.
No
You need
happy
to buy new
medium.
dice.
No happy medium.
These were from... Well, now I understand.
Yeah.
The curse!
Oh my god,
The curse!
you're not wrong.
What
Okay.
is it from?
Nope. Nope.
Are we? What? Oh, come on.
Nope.
Oh, come
Nope.
on.
Nope.
Ah.
Nope.
Alright.
I'm gonna
Oh,
have to use the
silly.
other ones
Nope.
now.
Although
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
those 2 1s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I roll? I think I rolled a 7. I think.
You know, I
You
did.
don't get notification about an hour before.
Sorry.
You see the town first.
Ah.
Sorry.
About how far away from the town are we?
About 500 feet when you get there.
Oh my
They're about 400 feet behind you.
Oh my god.
Right. Well, I'll start walking.
Just around the bend, basically. One moment, I apologize.
Wonderful. All right. So, I will do my multiply on the single bullets in each of the single pistols. And I'll do 2 each, so this way I get an extra shot.
Mine are over there until I could put it. I'm gonna.
So
I
now
think season 2 I'm swapping
so
the
now
new
each
dice.
gun will shoot out 4 bullets at once.
That's quite nice. Yeah, no, season 2 I'm gonna change it into a different array. I think I'm gonna use my opalite, possibly, but only if she has less corruption points. If she gets more corruption points for season 2, then we could change it out the darker dice.
You know, maybe we might be able to roll better if maybe Kraken dice sent us knives. To be blessed by the Kraken.
Bless me.
Yeah, we
I
could use some
need-
blessings
I
out
need
of that
more
now.
paladin dice. Gold.
Gold.
Okay, I have returned.
I don't know why, but the way your mic sits is very satisfying because it looks like very effortless.
Yeah, I'm
I
jealous.
like this little hang
And it
Yeah.
He's
blends.
also not in costume.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is a nice.
It's a nice shirt.
Okay, but like she has to clip it onto her dangling necklace.
I
and I
dangly
like,
do.
I play a
Flip it
lot of
onto
characters.
my
I play a lot of characters.
cauldron.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, if you had the
Very
wardrobe
much.
change for all
If
of
I
them.
had a
I-
wardrobe for everything,
Oh my god.
I'd be in trouble.
Yeah, that would be funny though if you had like hats that you.
Don't
No.
mention the hat
No,
because
wouldn't.
that goes to a place.
We've seen, and we avoid.
I know. No, I know. I've
The
seen
witch
it.
hunter hat.
It's pretty hokey.
Paper.
Although that would be hilarious.
I need a Gandalf hat.
Okay. So you cast the thing. Did you do anything else while he was...
You walk up as he's casting these things. That's when you catch up to him, and he's just around the bend of the road, standing in the middle of the road. You see him casting over his guns, and you see the town.
Sorry, I guess I mean, everything.
It's apparently going to take us an hour to walk this 500 feet.
Wow, it seems like very difficult terrain that way. I mean...
Listen. The roads and everything is just different. I didn't see it. Well, you were ahead. Why didn't you see it sooner?
I did see it sooner, but I also asked you to tell me an hour before we were going to get there.
Have you seen anything else while you've been up here?
No, I haven't seen anything.
There's a town from the
Although I
distance
made
look
my
active roll?
was my perception of 24 to see that the town is right in front of me.
You don't always have to know what I'm checking for your perception tests for.
Okay.
Does
Well, what do I notice, if anything?
Hey, you notice that the town is about 400 feet ahead of you.
Does it look like it's an active town now that
No.
we've caught up?
No,
Like in
no,
disrepair.
Is
You
it like
notice it
Norska
looks
and-
like it looks very inactive. You notice that several of the buildings are burned out. Smoke leaves stains on stucco and wood and stone from windows.
I doubt we're going to find anybody but our wonderful friends here.
If that.
Alright, we probably don't want to come in just walking on the street. Do we want to...
I would say we would try to take as best back alley.
Is there
way that we
an
can.
area where the forest is closest to the perimeter of the town? Kind of like how in the camp, how there was an area that the forest was closest to, that we were able to kind of...
Not from where you can see here. If you wish to approach, and then maybe
We'll get off the road and we'll...
make some. Okay, make some survival checks.
Wanna go? Okay. Okay.
No, I can't.
This is a raw.
15.
This isn't good either. The corruption spreads.
10.
10 as well.
You don't hurt yourselves. You don't exactly make any great progress. You end up with some citrus on your clothing, some fungus drips on your shoulder pad, on your
That shoulder.
pauldron.
That shoulder.
Nils steps into a gnat's hive and just
Him and stepping in stuff.
releases a cloud of small, tiny little gnats that just buzz around and occasionally get in the eye and the mouth and the nostril. And you can feel it tickling at the edges.
Carmen, is there any other way we could do this? This is ridiculous.
Look, these aren't the woods I know, okay? I am doing my best, but everything's different. It's the... I mean, I was never really in this area, but...
Plus the fact that it's also
everything's
obviously
different.
corrupted.
Yes, it's...
All right, then
This isn't the same wildlife or the same sort of ecosystem. It's...
As you
I can't...
circumvent the town, you see that some buildings still stand, some buildings are burned. Some of them, all that stands is black timber and rubble. Some of them are empty shells of a framework.
I'm going to take a look up into up over the buildings that we can see. Any active chimneys?
No, not even buzzards. This town was leveled. With your 24, you see a few of the buildings that aren't burned to the ground, and even some of the ones that were, where doors still remain. A yellow wash X painted across the front of those doors.
Do either of you know what a yellow X would stand for?
Make history checks.
Damn it, cocked.
13?
9.
Hey, that's not bad.
No, it's not. It almost fell off the table, though. Like, I had my hands here because I thought it was going.
9!
14.
This wasn't a difficult check. Because you asked, you don't know. It's a regional symbol for Plague House.
And I noticed this on several doors.
Yes. Several. Very much more than just one.
On both sides of the...
Mm-hmm.
We're on the south, or did we circle? Like, what on what edge of the town? Because the north is where
Right,
the
we
cottage...
didn't come in on the road. We came in through, like...
But you can see that the town is pretty much abandoned.
Yeah.
And if you wish to travel in, you could get to the center of town and then be able to gauge where the north of town...
I mean, the cottage we're looking for, all he said was it was a 2-story cottage towards the northern edge. I mean, we don't need to really be going through the thick of it.
It would definitely be the tallest building in the place, probably.
Second story's nice, but I'm sure that like town buildings would be larger.
There's a few 2-story buildings you can see. Locationally, though, they don't seem to be popular second-story buildings. A lot of single stories around. Those are the ones that no thatching.
They're more
Skeletal rib-like roofs is all that remains.
maybe some of those would also be more business oriented than homes, possibly.
I mean, if we know it's towards the northern edge, we know it's not going to be in the center of the town. So, process of elimination, how many more second-story buildings are there towards the edges of the town? At least we can cut out how many plague-stricken buildings we go romping through.
Alright, so let's get to the center. So I guess we'll make our way down an alley to get out into the center.
As you make your way through the town, you notice the occasional movement amongst the ruins. But you can see they were bone pickers, vagabonds, people searching the ruins and destruction of others to see about making a life for their own. They quickly dart out of view the second they see you, though. Make perception tests.
Mm,
18.
4.
16.
I
think you have made close to 20 rolls tonight, and I don't think
I know.
all of 3 of them have been above 10.
Did you
Well,
use...
she's rolling on perception a lot.
Yeah.
That's her.
But
that's
survival?
Yeah.
Yeah, usually
Yes,
you do
that
a lot
is
better
that's
with that.
that's not good.
18, 4,
16.
16. You too. Notice they're mostly children.
Oh no.
Teens at the oldest. Dirt covered. Rag ridden. Desperate. Their eyes, the whitest parts of them, the purest parts of them that can be seen. And they look terrified in their innocence as they rummage and search. You just see movement, and you see bodies, and your first instinct, well, you know what your first instinct is.
Wait.
What's that?
Wait.
They're
They're
right
they're
here.
children.
What?
They're children.
What would children be doing here?
They're trying to survive, apparently.
I mean, think about it. How many children were on the battlefront compared to parents or older siblings? What's left behind when parents
Not
fall?
to mention the parents might have put the children someplace to keep them safe.
This isn't safe.
They didn't know that at the time.
Fine. So,
The moral consequences of war.
Sorry, yeah, we're just like talking about what happens to like the children when all the parents go to war and die and shit. Oh fuck. Darkness.
corrupt
Darkness.
chaos.
Title screen.
Beastmen. I don't want to say it was Beastmen.
I think that needs to be her image in season 2 opening. Change it
Oh
to
my
her.
god. That would actually, yeah, okay. Probably take a better picture though.
Just Kevin, if you're watching, make a note of that.
Yeah.
You finally make it to the center of town, and you're able to orientate yourself by the sun.
Yeah.
Just shifting past noon, you're able to get a bearing of its westward.
Glad I don't have to roll for that because I wouldn't roll well.
Where does the sun set?
Carmen
Being
would
able to
forget
tell-
the sun.
Being able to tell which direction is which, as a hunter of Sigmar,
He's giving
and
it to you.
essential holy ranger paladin.
I will take it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold do you understand which way is north?
Your pride isn't hurt.
Which way does he go, George? Which way does he go?
It being slightly afternoon, you're able to get an idea of the westward motion of the sun and orientate yourself in the center of town.
Then I know where north is.
To the north,
Yeah.
you see would have been an opulent 2-story cottage in the north of town. I say would have, as it is obviously, like the rest of town, seen better days.
Okay. Carmen starts walking toward it. I think that's the one.
I mean, I don't think we should just walk up to it willy-nilly. I mean, to be fair, if the Lamians already came through here, it may be empty. Positive thinking.
I don't know. I mean, if you really saw children and they're okay, then
They seemed okay. I mean, we could.
How are we defining okay?
Well, we could clearly see the whites of their eyes.
okay as in not in immediate danger.
Okay,
Plus,
that's fair.
plus, I think if they were like possessed or diseased, I think they might be coming out to attack, shambling towards us, and they were running away.
Were you able to see that?
I mean,
Yes.
that's a jump in logic. Think about the blacksmith. He was sick. He was touched in unspeakable ways. He didn't attack us.
When we
Not everything
spoke
is that
to him,
straightforward.
he did seem very depressed and withdrawn.
I mean, with reason.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is it's not everything is going to just jump out and punch us. That doesn't mean we're safe. It doesn't mean we shouldn't take precautions when approaching a building that we know is a place of interest for people who would love nothing more than to make our lives hell. So maybe we just be extra careful as we approach. It's just like...
Okay, so before we go in, Carmen will kind of look around the building.
Yeah, like
see if I can like
inside.
maybe look in the window.
You can see most of the windows being boarded up, but a few have missing slats. You can see that most of the second story has collapsed. The building stands mostly empty. Either its contents removed by the owners, or most likely ransacked following the storm of chaos. You can see a staircase leading up in the lobby, vestibule, foyer sort of area. That's about all you can make out from outside.
Okay.
Alright, so I would say prepare yourselves however you need to.
This building doesn't look stable. We need to
go down into the basement, I believe was.
If it hasn't already been taken, yes, I believe in the journals they mentioned that. But, you know, obviously they had the journal. They know where it was.
Well, plan B, we could always offer these children some food. I'm sure they would give up any information for that.
If there's enough food for them, they might fight each other for it. I'd hate to see that happen.
So then just don't give them food?
Backhand a few children. If they want food, they'll make a line.
Tell me about your child.
You will let us save you. You will let us save you orderly, in an orderly fashion. Please line up, single file.
You notice that Nils is missing.
What?
No, wait. Do we notice for how long he's been missing?
No, you've been looking at the building.
Nils? Nils? She starts like
Stalking.
pacing back where we were.
As you make your way back to the main street, you can see he's walking back towards you.
Where was he?
He was still in the town square.
I run up to him.
Why did you not
What
follow
happened?
us?
You can see he's adjusting his pack. He was like, I thought you said you possibly wanted to He turns around and looks, and sitting on the stone pillar in the center of the town, he's left out like half a loaf of bread.
I was actually thinking about just leaving some food out myself, but
I thought that's what you said you wanted to do.
I just said that now, though.
You had actually mentioned it while you were walking up to the house.
Did I?
Did you?
I thought you had.
I don't remember that. Do you guys remember that?
we were just starting to talk about it because I had said I don't want to see them fighting each other for it.
I mean, we'll go with it, but
I'll
it's
go
really
with
creepy
it.
if I don't think she
It's
did.
weird
So we
because,
thought he
like-
teleported.
Well, it's easily enough for him to walk back if you mentioned it and he
Yeah.
walked away.
Because, like, I just had that thought when I said it.
In other words,
Because I was like, how can we bribe them?
In other words, will no one rid me of this?
It's that, what's it called, the Mandela effect?
Oh, yeah, wow.
That's what it is.
Okay.
You remember it, but we
Will
don't.
no one rid me of this troublesome priest? Ah, I heard that. I'm going to go.
Does it look like the children are kind of peeking around? Like, have they already partaken?
Make perception test.
I want to swap my dice.
23.
Let me roll a good roll, please. Okay, 15.
22.
I just had to beg a little.
Well, I guess I need to purge these, don't I?
You see eyes in the doorways and some of the windows kind of eyeing the food. As he's adjusting his back, he's like, I tried to go to them, but they kept running away, so I just laid it out and thought if they wanted, they could come get it.
It's nice of you.
Good job, lad. Good job.
I said out loud that they should share it, but I don't know.
Oh.
It's the best we can do right now.
Yeah.
I packed a little extra, so we won't be particular.
Oh.
That was very kind of you.
Yes. Well, they'll probably partake after we're out of eyesight.
Yeah, being careful around strangers is a positive survival technique. I can't begrudge them that. I mean, to be fair, they might have seen, though.
I can't imagine what they've seen.
But they might actually have information. If we
I
could.
know.
She
Well,
just, like,
this is-
awkwardly gestures at, like, Carmen and Lanier, and she's like, if we could try to not be so. Us. It's possible that we could
would get
try-
so much more done.
Well, in any event, are we going to go and check out this house? This seems to be the place.
Maybe Nils is the best one to talk to them. I mean, he is younger. He just gave them food. But they did run away.
I mean, you could play them a song, or you're probably the most charismatic of a lot of us. If anyone's going to be trustworthy, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it might be you, Hildebrand. Says here.
Do you know any children's songs? Tales?
Well, I know. I've played.
Something that might be comforting to a child that's in the middle of a corrupted town.
I feel like anything that's like a lullaby
Baby
is terrifying.
beluga, baby
Oh,
beluga.
It's going bad. It's going badly.
So what is Hildebrand?
I will start. Well, if I start playing music, won't that alert people that we're here?
I mean,
I think
we're
they
talking
already
and
know
walking
we're
around
here.
very brazenly. We're not being stealthy.
Yeah, you guys didn't really say you were sneaking.
Yeah, that's why I tried saying we should stay along the edges of the town, but we were like, oh, let's walk into the dead middle of it. So that's what happened. So if we're going for it.
Oh, ho, the rattling bog down in the valley. Oh, oh, ho, the rattling bog down in the valley. Oh.
What'd you say?
He wants to go to the
I want to
Ren
go back
Fair.
to the Ren Fair.
I haven't been
And
to
in that
the
bog
old-
there
the
was
old
a
pub
tree,
scene.
a red tree and a rattling tree with a tree in the bog down in the valley. Oh.
Oh, anyway.
Does anybody
Does it work like that with the children?
We'll make a performance check. Nothing like having a nice bee sting sitting there singing along with the bards and the pub sing.
19.
19. You sing it in it tends to be a more of a energetic song, but you sing it in such a way that it's inviting without being overtly energetic.
And on that tree there was a bough, a red bough and a rattling bough, with a bough on the tree and the tree in the bog and the bog down in the valley-o.
You start to see the children kind of moving out from within the buildings. One that looks maybe a little bit older, maybe early teens at the oldest. Can't even you can't distinguish any kind of gender even. It's a child. They're dirty. Their hair is in the early stages of dread and runs out and looks at you singing, just grabs the loaf of bread.
And on that bough there was a branch, a rare branch, a rattling branch, and the branch on the bough, and the bough on the tree in the bog, and the bog down in the valley. Oh, hello there.
They bolt back into the building.
They take everything?
There's a block of cheese and a half a loaf of bread, some of the sourdough from town. Just goes back into the building, and you can hear muttering.
Keep playing.
And as you're playing, another child comes out. Same state of disgusting.
That's how I feel about children.
Same state of disgusting.
This one looks more about maybe 7, 8 years old.
A naive, young one.
You see, they're chewing a chunk of the bread in hand as you're playing.
Looks like they distributed.
And on that branch there was a twig, a red twig, a rattling twig. The twig on the branch, and the branch on the bough, and the bough on the tree, and the tree in the bog, and the bog down in the valley. Oh, hello there.
She kind of walks over and she's just reaching.
Think she wants your hat.
Large eyes.
Creepy child, creepy child.
Round.
Stop it.
This is why we don't have children.
Curious in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a child?
But reaching for your hat. Just every points to it, reaches.
I take the feather. I'm going to have to get another feather. And I hand it to her.
You hear the brittle crunching as they stick it into their hair. It kind of sits there. And it stays, and the mud and dirt helmet of hair that is the nappy, disgusting plates of hair, and just kind of sits in there. She points to your hat again.
Oh, she's got ambition.
No, this is mine. I need it. I'm sorry.
tears off a piece of bread.
No, that's for you. That is your bread. That's for you.
She's throwing it at him?
Just for you.
No, she's waving it like.
I mean, does it look like sign language, or is it just
This
like...
is all she's doing. She's trying. It's no recognized language. It's a child trying to.
Listen, out of character, I don't know what children
Make
are doing.
a-
In character.
All right.
Same
Make
Zeus.
a wisdom check.
All of us?
Socialize there.
Child-rearing.
No,
Wisdom, socialize.
there's insight.
Insight check.
Insight.
Make an insight check.
you just spit
Insight!
out that!
Make
oh.
insight check.
Oh.
Make it worth it, please.
Oh.
Okay. So I rolled a
19.
12. 12.
19.
She is trying to get something from him. She wants him to take off his hat. And she kind of puts the loaf of bread under her arm and holds out her hand.
She wants me to give her my hat.
That's what she looks like. She's signaling for her to do.
Fine, I give her my hat.
She kind of lights up for a second. And you see her. She flips it upside down. She puts the small piece of bread into the hat. And she puts it down at your feet. And she takes the bread back. And she smiles as she turns and runs back towards
What does that mean?
the house.
What is this? I think she was just trying to give you...
She wanted to
She's-
share.
No.
What?
This is what a lot of street performers do. They put their hats out.
She tipped the busker.
So she associated that with something that she's used to, that she's had happen here.
I mean, if they think of you as a performer, maybe you could ask for your payment to be an information. Can you shake down the children for
What were the insight checks again?
16?
19.
Yeah, with
12.
the 19, you think the reason why she went through all that is that mutes come from trauma. And living in this scenario, knowing what's in this area, silence is gold. Silence is survival.
So she was thinking that I was singing to want something,
Or she just
and
is
she
mute
gave
and
me
can't
that.
tell you.
She gave me that
To shut
as
you up.
payment so I wouldn't have to sing. In other words, it's not good to draw noises.
Well, I mean, that's kind of a given, but I figured since we were stomping around to begin with, it was worth a shot.
No, it was, but at least it clarifies some things. There are obviously something that scares, possibly chases them if they're too noticeable.
Well, if that's the case and something's lurking around the town, don't look at me like this as I'm about to say it, but I'd rather they just stomp forward and find us so we could be on with it. This is... we can't fix something if we don't know it's there.
I can't imagine. But they're children. They're some of the most defenseless people. How Have they not been hurt yet? Just
Because
they
obviously
keep
they're
quiet?
able. Yes, but
They're also
you
not gonna make
wouldn't
trouble.
have been. You might not have. You might not have come across this mob being raised in the woods, as it were.
By wolves.
I was not going to say that.
Princess.
Children are remarkable at.
Yeah. I need one in my life.
What?
I need an Ashitaka in my life.
Children are remarkable at hiding. They can get into places.
We saw them when, well, you saw them when we walked into town.
Yes. And
with the insight, you know that it's been 6 to 7 months since the end of the war.
And their parents
and there was
haven't
almost
come back.
a year of war before that. So
They had to have been hiding to still be alive. They had to have perfected it. It must have been mere chance that we saw them. But they can be incredibly perceptive, and they can be even more so at hiding.
Okay, well, we gave them the food. We made our offering.
It would have
Now
been,
what?
It would have been nice if they would be more forthcoming. But if they're not going to, we should probably check out the building.
But if you also notice too, she couldn't speak. That might be something common among them.
That's fair. I mean, it was worth a shot. If anything, we gave these little rats some food, and that'll sustain them. We did a nice thing.
Larva.
Mayfly larva.
Don't like your terminology.
And I don't like the way you smell sometimes. I don't know what you want me to do with that. So, do we want to go towards the building?
Let's go to the building.
That was our original intent.
That was our original intent, yes. And I have my pistols, and
And
before
you
we go
still have your hat.
Yes, I do. I have my hat.
Pick your hat
But
up.
not
I'll
your
pick my
feather.
hat up and I'll shake the cheese.
But
out.
not the
bread.
feather. The feather
But
is
not the
gone.
feather. The feather is gone.
To the girl.
I have to get another
She's
feather
now,
from a bird.
Did she have red hair? Cause
You couldn't tell what color her hair was through all the
It was
dirt,
brown.
through all
Hey.
the dirt and dreadlock and muck and mud.
Fine. Maybe they'll be more willing to talk later when they see we're not a threat. But like I said,
hail, fire,
that
and
building-
snow, call the angel.
I don't know
Here we
how
go.
stable it is. If we go in there, I don't want it to collapse more on us.
yeah, we'll have to be careful for the structural integrity.
All
But
All right. As we get set to go into the building, I will cast heroism on all 3 of them.
Oh,
jeez.
that's a minute.
Yep.
All right. You're instantly steeled.
Nils, where's that skin?
No.
Are you drinking?
You are not drinking on the job while we walk in a dangerous building. Nils, do not listen to him.
Okay.
Don't give it to
Don't.
him.
Make how are you proceeding?
I'll go in first.
Is there a way to tell where the fire originated by the way it's burned out?
This building isn't burned out.
This one isn't
That's
burnt out.
just
so
collapsed.
It's just collapsed from.
Just collapsed.
So water damage then.
Possibly water damage. The fact that the thatching probably hasn't been touched in over a year.
Yeah.
Almost 2 years now.
Okay. I mean, if we.
Just whatever you do, don't touch anything that is connected to the house. Any beams.
Well, I would say staying along the main beams would be the strongest part of the building. So if you are going to walk across anything that looks like it's like the filler planks in between the beams,
Does
be
the
more
floor
careful.
look solid?
First floor, ground floor does. And as you prepare to walk in, you can see that the first floor seems pretty solid. The second floor is the one that seems the most precarious. There's the stairs immediately in front of you to the left, along hugging a wall.
Going up and down.
Leading up. Make perception tests.
19.
Natural 20.
Oh,
on the
I
bullshit
rolled a
roll.
19.
Oh!
Make it special.
Yeah!
Carmen
All
notices
of you-
first.
Ahead of a natural 20. All of you, take note. You haven't even walked 2 steps into the home before you see tracks on the ground in front of you. Rather muddled. Footprints going back and forth.
Like a shuffle, almost.
Or looking.
Not really a shuffle, but
Scouting.
footsteps going in and out.
Okay.
Are they like little feet?
Just mixed tracks.
They little feet or adult feet?
You can't really tell. It's a mixture of steps, and they're all over the place, and they cross over each other, and there's no obvious. The largest footprints are on top of it, from what you can see. But you can see there's a cracked door perpendicular to the stairs that's slightly opened underneath the stairs.
Oh, like one of those weird, like, here's your stairs, and then this is where you put Harry Potter?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's an old door.
It's a Potter house.
This is where you put Harry Potter.
I didn't know what it's called.
Yeah.
It's just an angled door under a stairwell.
I'm sure it has a thing.
A staircase.
Room under the stairs.
It's called like the cupboard under the stairs or something.
Sounds like
see
a terrifying
The
children's
title
novel.
of the chapter, I just don't remember exactly.
The footprints don't go anywhere else.
He hates
They
Harry
go
Potter.
there. I acknowledge Harry Potter for what it is, but I think there are superior novels for those who wish to actually read good books.
Plus, people used to call you Harry Potter when you were younger.
And I fucking hated that.
Which is why
Why?
he hates the book.
Why did they call him that?
Because he looked, without the
Because
beard and he had the hair and the glasses, all he needed was the
You're
scar.
gonna have to show me pictures.
Can we get back to the game?
Yes.
Send
she
pictures
asked,
in
I'm sorry.
Discord later.
And the
Carmen,
bard falls
the-
through the floor and dies in a pit of spikes.
What?
Is it?
How unfortunate. Moving on.
Go stand here.
Hildebrand, what are you doing? Alright, sorry.
The tracks. Can you tell? I mean, it looks like they go into that little nook over there.
She's slowly.
No, we were looking for a basement, but maybe we should check that out.
She cautiously walks over, like very slow, like doesn't want to put too much weight. She's very paranoid about this house. Yeah. Kind of creaks it open, take a look.
Ow.
Eh, goodbye. Goodbye.
Falls through floor dead.
Goodbye
spikes.
forever.
No. I rolled percentiles to see about something. I got literally a 99.
Okay. So I guess
You're dead. No.
Goodbye forever.
Goodbye
Forever.
forever.
No.
give me a good death. It's all I ask.
You feel the creaking underneath your feet. But it's just old woodwork. You don't feel it give. The door opens away from you. So you can see into the threshold of the door. Stairs leading down into a cellar.
Take out my light globe, the orb.
The drift globe. Okay.
Yes.
Do we want to make our way down?
I would say so.
All right.
You would lead the way.
Of course.
I will go next. I have both my pistols at the ready.
Do you want myself then Nils?
Yes, you follow me, and then Nils bring up the rear.
That seems.
Okay.
I would say that would be the most logical order.
What's
There.
your thoughts? You're making a
That
face.
makes sense. Just wanted to say, there's been a lot of lead up to this moment. We can't fuck it up.
Possibly fucked it already, but
And then she starts slowly, cautiously, each step by step, trying to be kind of quiet.
Step, inch by inch.
Niagara Falls. Yes, it does all the time.
Makes her way down the stairs. Everyone else following in tight formation. The heroism still coursing through your veins. If it weren't for that heroism coursing through your veins, you all would be having quite
I don't have the
a
heroism,
moment.
which is why I asked for the
So I
damn.
need you to make a wisdom check.
Which is why I said to give me the damn beer.
Oh my god.
Boom, baby.
What'd you get?
Nat 20?
No, 19, but
That
but
is
still,
not a boom, baby.
It
It's
is-
pretty good.
it is
Yeah.
for this. 'Cause
It's good for the moment, man. It's good for the moment.
Those of you not affected by the heroism, gird your loins.
So that would still be at 24, so
You,
that's still good.
You compose yourself. Your gorge rises for a moment to be choked down as you regain composure. The rest of you observe it not coldly and impartially, but you absorb what it is. You instantly dash any second thoughts as you view a gore-drenched room. The bottom of the stairs, every wall covered in a coat of browning viscera. It stinks of a carnal house. An abattoir, uncleaned. Hanging from rafters, you can see bits of intestine, chunks of hair caught into the floorboards above, hanging down. Nothing dripping. It's all dried up by now.
So this is not recent.
No. Make a perception test, everyone.
I mean, the intestines mean it couldn't be
21.
that long ago.
19.
And 15.
We know a lot about body fluids. That's what I've gathered from that roll just now. We are familiar with the insides, outside.
Stop it.
What?
All right.
No.
Going in a line. What'd you get?
21.
15.
19.
Okay.
How did Nils do?
Roll for Nils. He had heroism, so he gets to.
Oop, alright.
Ooh.
Yeah.
17 plus.
Okay. You all see.
So he gets a 20.
You see at the very center of the cellar. You see a. You've heard of the term of a nuclear shadow. Think of this as a gore shadow. 2 of them. One pair of legs that pushes back against a wall where hands are covering a face. You can see the outline of a man holding his hands up to cover. And on the ground, on the floor, there's the outline of a large plate necklace.
Damn.
And it's now that you can see the sticky footprints that have not really stepped into the blood, but more of crushed the dried internal juices that coat this room. And that's when you hear the sound of footsteps above you. And you see some of the hair and some of the some of the organs and chunks break loose and clatter to the floor around you. And that's where we're going to end this game.
Glorious.
Stay safe,
combat.
everybody. Have good times out there. Remember to always stay evil. See you next time.